If you're a professional brewer, you know how frustrating it can be when you go to place a yeast order and what you're looking for is out of stock. Well, Imperial Yeast is here to help by guaranteeing that commercial orders up to 20 liters of 10, yes, 10 of their most popular strains will ship free if they're not in stock when you place your order. Some of these strains include A38 Juice for those hazy IPAs, A07 Flagship, a classic in clean American styles, L13 Global, which is said to be one of the world's most popular lager strains, A44 Kviking for your warm fermented beers, and so many more. So in addition to pitching right with the highest quality yeast on the market, they're promising that yeast will be ready when you need it, or shipping is on them. Whether you're a pro or a home brewer, if you haven't tried Imperial Yeast in your brewery, it's time to up your game. You can check out everything Imperial Yeast has to offer and place your commercial orders at imperialyeast.com. Hey everybody, this is the Brewlosophy Podcast. I'm your host, Marshall Schutt, and today I am joined by my bestest friends, Tim Mice, Justin Pretzer, and Craig Fry to review the 9th installment of the AvgBrü beers. That's the Brew Club's AvgBrü program, which is rad. For this quarter, members of the Brew Club chose to focus on the currently uncommon historical style known as Kentucky Common. Usually this is where I'd ask you guys if you have any experience with this style, but I have a feeling, Justin, you're an expert on it. So Craig or Tim, either of you have a Kentucky Common?
Nope.
Ever?
No, I went to Kentucky once.
Was it common? Or?
Fun fact, Timmy and Craig, Kentucky Common comes from Kentucky.
It's kind of weird. I had this idea a few AvgBrü reviews ago to start us off with a commercial example of the style that we're reviewing. But yet again, I think we've been able to do it once. We can't do that because there are no commercial examples of Kentucky Common, at least that I'm aware of, or ones that distribute to Fresno. Either way, one cool thing about this AvgBrü is that we're all more or less novices when it comes to this style. I think I've maybe tried 2 homebrewed examples in my life. I'm looking forward to it. What about you guys?
Yeah, let's get
I'm
with
excited.
it.
I've never had this before, so
Let's do it.
What if it's just a style that we all hate?
Good chance.
yeah. Well, yeah.
But we won't
Any
say
type
that.
of beer with the name cream in the deal is.
There's no cream in Kentucky.
It's called cream ale.
Oh my God. We'll talk about this later, Justin. Real quick, if you're interested in this kind of stuff or you just want a cool group of like-minded folks to hang out with, you can learn more about the Brew Club by visiting thebruclub.com, which will redirect you to their active Facebook group. They've got all kinds of cool stuff going on over there, including this AvgBrü project. Currently, base membership is free, so go join now. You've nothing to lose, and if you're listening to this show, my guess is you're going to enjoy it. All right, if you like what we're up to and you want us to keep doing it, please consider becoming a patron of Brewlosophy by committing to a small monthly pledge over at patreon.com/Brewlosophy. You'll receive rewards like access to unpublished contributor recipes, unique discounts at YakimaValleyHops.com, and an invite to a monthly live Q&A session with somebody in the brewing world. Our guest for this month is Brewlosophy's own Alex Shanks-Abel. While one of the newest contributors to the crew, Alex has actually been involved with Brewlosophy for a few years. In fact, they're one of the folks who helped build the Brew Club into what it is today. If you happen to be a fan of the Brewlosophy Show, our YouTube channel, then you probably caught Alex sharing their tips on brewing like a cheapskate. And if you're anything like me, you loved what they had to say. Alex will be hanging out with patrons on Saturday, May 18th, 2024. So make sure to make your pledge of just $3 or more by Friday the 17th. All past sessions are stored on our private Patreon and Facebook pages, so patrons can go back and watch them whenever they like. Learn more about all of the rewards we offer for your support and become a patron today over at patreon.com/Brewlosophy. Another really easy way to help us out is by using the links found at brewlosophy.com/support. When you're shopping online, your experience won't change at all, and we get a little kickback for the referral. Finally, if you wouldn't mind letting us know what you think about this show by leaving a rating and review in Apple Podcast or wherever it is you listen to podcasts, we'd really appreciate that as well. Feedback is brought to you by Clawhammer Supply, who in addition to having a remarkable YouTube channel chock full of great brewing-related content, sell what we believe to be some of the best electric brewing systems on the market. If you've been considering making the move from propane to electric, you owe it to yourself to check out Clawhammer Supply. Whether you're after a 120-volt 5-gallon unit or something bigger like their powerful 240-volt 10-gallon system, Clawhammer has got you covered. Learn more about everything they have to offer at clawhammersupply.com, and don't forget to check out their YouTube channel as well. Alrighty, listener Ed Hitchcock shot us an email after listening to episode 318, where we talked about brewing in the modern age. Ed said, while listening, it kept striking me that the things you were talking about, quote, 15 years ago resonated with what we were doing 30 years ago. Then it wasn't Homebrew Talk we used to get info from, but Homebrew Digest, which was a mailing list, though you could scroll through older ones, probably on Usenet. Even in Nova Scotia, where I lived at the time, we had access to Y yeast and White Labs yeast, which was a game changer from Red Star Banana Bomb yeast. We made starters, used immersion chillers, and Venturi devices to aerate the wort on transfer. We also dabbled with filters, but only when kegging because you don't want to remove the yeast when bottle conditioning, obviously. But fly sparging was definitely the norm. When I got back into homebrewing about 9 years ago after a hiatus, my first reaction to batch sparging was, what is this sorcery? Anyway, it was a fun episode. Keep up the great work. Ed, I definitely know some guys who were around during the whole Homebrew Digest and Usenet days. In fact, I was told those were active when I started brewing back in 2003, but I was not familiar with them. Honestly, I didn't even really get into online brewing forums until like 2011, 2012, and it really did provide me some cool perspectives. You know, as they say, history repeats itself, and while things might look different, we're all basically doing the same thing with the same ingredients over and over again. So I appreciate your feedback. You guys, did you have any comments on Ed's feedback just because you're here? And, you know, other hobbies are the same way. You think that you're reinventing the wheel when really, 30 years ago, they were basically doing the same thing.
That's kind of depressing.
What makes that depressing, Justin?
When you think that you're cutting edge and all of a sudden you find out you're not.
It's a wheel.
Guys,
it still rolls.
We're going to put two wheels together and put a stick in between. I think it's going to take off. Kind of like the old interweb.
Just roll with it.
Just roll. There we go. Well, cool. If Ed, I appreciate the feedback, and I agree with you, man. That things that we're doing today might have a little bit different look to them, but we're standing on the shoulders of giants.
Ed is an innovator.
Ed's well, yeah. I mean, he I'll give him that. Ed, you're an innovator, buddy. If you have show feedback, you can send it to feedback@brulosophy.com or drop us a line on social media. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Brulosophy Show, so you're notified when new episodes drop. Martin's put a lot of work into this project. We're super proud of it, and we think you're going to love it too. To find the channel, you can search YouTube for Brulosophy or go straight to youtube.com/@The Show. That's without an umlaut. All right, we'll be back with AvgBrü Kentucky Common Reviews. After a long brew day, the last thing I want to do is waste more time chilling wort. I've tried so many different options, and ultimately I settled on the super efficient immersion chillers made by Jaded Brewing. With the King Cobra and Hydra, I'm able to chill my entire batch of wort from boiling to just a few degrees above groundwater temperature in as little as 6 minutes. If an immersion chiller is right for your brewery, then do yourself a favor and check out all of the rad options Jaded Brewing has to offer at jadedbrewing.com, and be sure to let them know Brulosophy sent you. As every brewer knows, the best beer requires the best hops, which Yakima Valley Hops provides fresh from the source to brewers around the world, carrying everything from classics like Cascade to modern favorites like Galaxy and Mosaic, as well as other ingredients and gear. Yakima Valley Hops has it all. And don't forget to check out their new podcast, The Late Edition, where the YVH crew goes into depth on our favorite plant with industry experts. Head over to YakimaValleyHops.com now to see all they have to offer, and subscribe to The Late Edition wherever it is you listen to podcasts.
Seeking the truth never gets old. Introducing June's Journey, the free-to-play mobile game that will immerse you in a thrilling murder mystery. Join June Parker as she uncovers hidden objects and clues to solve her sister's death in a beautifully illustrated world set in the Roaring '20s. With new chapters added every week, the excitement never ends. Download June's Journey now on your Android or iOS device, or play on PC through Facebook Games.
Worried about letting someone else pick out the perfect avocado for your perfect impress them on the third date guacamole? Well, good thing Instacart shoppers are as picky as you are. They find ripe avocados like it's their guac on the line. They are milk expiration date detectives. They bag eggs like the 12 precious pieces of cargo they are. So let Instacart shoppers overthink your groceries so that you can overthink what you'll wear on that third date. Download the Instacart app to get free delivery on your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
Similar in many ways to cream ale, Kentucky Common is a truly American style that was popular in Louisville, Kentucky from the mid-19th century up until Prohibition. Judging by the utter lack of commercial examples of Kentucky Common today, I think it's obvious how not popular this style is currently, but it's pretty rad that the BJCP still includes it in their guidelines. Now, according to them, the BJCP, Kentucky Common is described as... What? What is this?
It's Kentucky Banjo.
I love it. It's super slow because normal banjo is pretty fast. Oh, it's here it comes.
It's coming.
You keep it rolling, Mr. Craig, and I'll read what the BJCP has to say about Kentucky Common. First off, it is classified under 27A historical beer, along with a bunch of other historical styles. The BJCP describes it as a clean, dry, refreshing, slightly malty dark beer with high carbonation, mild tasting with light toast and caramel flavors, served very fresh as a sessionable saloon beer.
Well, let me stop you right there. Craig, can we hit pause for a minute? Because
I think he forgot how to use his
Marshall
Spotify.
corrected me on something. Do me a favor. As we go back to this, it says bumper. What is the sixth word after bumper?
I said similar in many ways to a
cream ale.
But it's not a
something
cream ale.
with cream on it doesn't sound good. Oh, that's not cream. So it's similar? Is similar like the same?
This is when you texted me, I wasn't calling you out. You said it's a dark cream ale, and I said it's not a cream ale. Are you going to read our text, Justin? We're already starting. We haven't even been drinking yet, and we're already starting off with an argument.
Yeah, this is going to be argument. That's a great article. I can't read some of these texts here. Oh, American cream ale. Cream ale is American. So it's Kentucky Common, similar but different.
Yeah.
Marshall, I've been reading a lot on cream ale. I must say, looking forward to smooth malty brew. It's Kentucky Common, similar but different. So as we start this, and it's similar in many ways to the cream ale, Kentucky Common.
I can't wait till we start tasting them.
I know.
God.
Let's actually. Why don't you, Justin?
Are these from A&W?
Go through some of this information. Why don't you pour us our first one? Yeah, they're. By the way, cream ale doesn't have cream in it. Yeah, just grab. It's as long as they're from the same bag. Thanks. Thank you very much. Look at what this person called you. We'll get to it later, but the deputies.
Okay.
Because I'm the marshal.
Box Hollow is...
Hold on, we're not getting to it yet. Just pour them, and then we'll talk about those. I still got to go over the parameters. So, for this one, Average Brew number 9, Kentucky Common. Here's the ingredient and brewing parameters that I believe the Brew Club voted on for the most part. So for base malts, they can use pale 6-row malt, or pale 2-row malt can be used in place of the 6-row. The reason they included the 6-row malt is because that's what would typically have been used to brew this style of beer. So I think that's pretty cool. As far as caramel or crystal malts, medium caramel, 40 to 60 love. That's pretty common to get a color, the type of color we're looking for in this style of beer. Specialty malts, they can use honey malt and or victory malt, I believe. For roasted or darker grains, black malt, chocolate malt, midnight wheat. And then alternate fermentables, it's pretty essential that you include some amount of corn in this beer. And the explanation that I've heard about why cream ale gets called cream ale, Justin, is because of the use of corn and cream. I don't know, cream corn or whatever, but Kentucky Common, totally different style than cream ale, has its own similarities, but it is made with a portion of corn. So these folks the Brew Club members who did this Average Brew could use flaked corn, malted corn, or corn grits.
How about corn pops?
That actually could have probably worked, except you're going to get a bunch of added nutrients and sugar. Yeah. So I believe the typical ingredient back in the day when this was getting made in the 1800s was corn grits, because it was so common. I've used corn grits in my brewing and it works perfectly fine. Similar to the way flaked corn works.
So it's like breakfast in a mug.
We can call it that. We'll just justify our morning drinking with that. It is, by the way, noon on a Saturday, so we're safe here. In terms of hops, now the BJCP says to use rustic American hops for bittering, and then continental hops, so those hops that come from Europe, for finishing. For the Brew Club's Average Brew, the parameters say anything can be used for bittering, which I think is kind of cool. So they can use anything they want to bitter the beer. That just means the very first hop addition during the boil. And then they suggest using something like cluster because of its history here in the United States. And then for mid boil and late boil, they suggest using cluster, sods, or nothing at all. And then for the late boil one, they also add Cascade. So if you wanted to get a little bit of like a grapefruity type of flavor or something like that. So as far as yeast goes, they can use basically any clean ale or lager strain is going to work for this. In the BJCP, they list a clean ale strain, but they don't go into detail about it. Just knowing that this is an American style, you're not going to expect any bubblegum or banana or anything like that. It should be nice and clean. And to get that, the Brew Club says to use Imperial Yeast AO1 House, Imperial Yeast AO7 Flagship. Brewers could use Imperial Yeast L13 Global, or they could go with a unique dry yeast strain called Nova Lager, which can actually be fermented really warm. I believe upwards of like 90 degrees Fahrenheit, 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, it turns these beers around really fast, and it doesn't produce any off flavors, anything like that.
I like that word. Ostensibly.
I'm going to get into a grammar talk here. No adjuncts, with the exception of the corn I was telling you guys about earlier. In terms of brewing parameters, malted kern. The mash temperature has to be anywhere between 150 and 153 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about 66 C. They mash for an hour. They boil for an hour, targeting an IBU, a bitterness of 15 to 25, and an OG of 1041 to 1050. I know that not all of that makes perfect sense to you, but this is a really well designed, in my opinion, Kentucky Common for somebody who's never made one and who's only had a couple in my lifetime. So I'm really excited. I know that you guys have already started drinking. Let's open. This is a, let's see, I got some really cool stickers for you guys.
I think we've all taken a quick sip.
Yeah. You guys have.
If I can...
Here, look at, you guys pass these around. These are dope.
Tim, Craig, I mean, this almost tastes like a creamy
malt.
malt.
Like a creamy malt. Like a
very creamy malty.
Yeah, cream ale.
Creamy malty.
Yeah, it's a cream ale.
It's totally cream. It's cream. E-L. Yeah. I'm going to read this.
Fox Hollow Brewing.
Fox Hollow Brewing. This comes
sick.
from...
This is cool.
These are rad
Cornelia,
stickers.
Georgia. Is that by Augusta, Georgia?
I don't have Clay's last name, unfortunately, because he only put Clay on there.
Clay Hollow.
Marshall and the Deputies.
Yep. So I'm going to read what these are. This happens as we record. I don't pre-read these. I actually just broke open this envelope. So Clay says, Marshall and gang, in this package lies one of the Kentucky Commons of all time that I named. Lies one of the Kentucky Commons of all time that I named Speed Dating on Discord. Boom. As an homage to some tomfoolery that went down on the Discord server whilst planning this quarter's average.
Tomfoolery? I like
that.
this guy.
I like this guy. You should say it with a Georgia accent.
Tomfoolery.
I would screw that up. You guys been watching the draft? Some kid was drafted from Georgia, some college down there, and I love
some
his
college
accent.
that you mean like the University of Georgia?
Yeah, I don't know Georgia. I don't know where.
It's still on.
I heard they played football a little bit.
Round 90, pick 282.
Yeah, I think it ends today, right? The draft. Yeah. He says, as it is my first attempt at the style, I'd say I did okay, but I did decide to include a bomber of my Belgian triple that I'm fairly proud of. Ooh. That's sitting at 10. We're going to be drinking that one later, boys. I saved it for you. Remember last time I drank them all, the extra ones they sent? I promise I didn't do that. We do remember.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I'll never
bet they were
forget.
great.
Yeah, they really were. I'm fairly proud that sitting at 10% ABV so that you can either wash away the taste and memory of my Kentucky Common or celebrate it as an absolute masterpiece. I'll leave that to the discretion of the tasters. The obligatory blue painter's tape was added, but only as a packing material, and all of the info about the beers will be on my somewhat janky-ass labels. You'll also find included a few stickers of my brewery logo because shameless branding is very important and cool. Stickers make people forget mediocre beer. Clay is the head hoperator of Fox Hollow Brewing and all of its subsidiaries. I don't know if that's just a home brewery or is actual like a real brewery.
Whatever brewery it is,
it's delicious.
It is awesome.
That's damn good.
All right, here we go. I'm going
It's
in.
very clean.
I like Common Kentucky or Kentucky Common.
It's cream ale.
It's a cream ale. So
okay, this is
I could
way
tell
good.
that he nailed it. Before I even looked at the bottle, I'm like, this is a 1.05 OG. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Great.
So what do you think the ABV is? Don't look.
5.
6.2.
5.3.
Like five,
You were close.
That's close.
5 and change. Yeah, that's my fave, man. 5.2 to 5.5.
This is
super
friggin' awesome.
Yeah. It's very good.
I like the high carbonation. It washes away quickly.
Color's good. Nice,
Yeah.
nice head.
Well, the
Yum,
head
yum.
disappears really fast, and that is actually a characteristic of Kentucky Common.
It actually is. So I love that Justin
He does
actually
homework.
he does his
I do.
homework beforehand. I love it.
Fun fact, gentlemen, the post office delivers mail.
So let's do our normal thing and run down with the label. I mean, Clay already told us that it's not. He think it's janky ass, but
BS. Clay gave us stickers.
He gave us stickers, but the rubber band's a nice touch.
you know, there's a rubber band holding on it looks like packing tape covered label, and
No, he used a laminator. Like, so he went
Yeah.
to someone's school and stole their laminator for
girl,
the afternoon.
that is packing tape that he put on both sides.
That's
and cut.
homemade laminated.
Yeah, basically.
That's Kentucky
It's
laminated.
Kentucky Common lamination.
He didn't include his recipe, which I'm perfectly okay with. We don't need to diss him for not doing everything perfectly.
Thank you.
But his OG is 1050, as you said, and his FG is 1010 for an ABV of 5.3, IBU of 28, and an SRM of 13. So the thing about IBU, the International Bitterness Unit, is it's complete bunk. I mean, it's so difficult to actually, accurately predict or measure IBU based on what you're using. If you were to send this into a lab and have it tested, my guess is that this would probably come back around 18 to 20, just based on my experience with bitterness and beers and stuff. So,
Well, I tell you, the color is, super brown, but not like a really light, bright brown. Very carbonated. Washes away quickly.
Yeah,
this is delicious.
outstanding.
It's really, really good.
would you say it like an orange brown? That's kind of what I get. Is like it's borderline orange with
Yeah.
like orange hues, but then kind of brown in the middle.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, it is gorgeous.
It's like an infection.
crystal clear.
It's like your kidneys hurt and you peed in a glass.
That kind of infection.
This is,
And it
what's
burns a
crazy
little
though is, the head disappears on these pretty fast, but what's left really coats the side of the glass.
It does.
And
This is
the,
just good.
It's good.
And the
Pretty-
foam has a really nice light beige color, which means to me that Clay probably used a little black malt in this, or maybe chocolate malt. Roasted barley has a very unique quality to it that it doesn't change the color of the head very much. So if you pour a Guinness, usually you'll see like it's a little
That
bit tan, I
off-white.
guess, but it's more of an off-white. And
Yeah.
but
This
this
is
is
bright
more.
white.
This is almost more. You think so? I get more of kind of a beige brown thing. It could be just the hue of the.
You could see, like, when I was pouring it with the light coming, I was kind of worried that it wasn't purple or
Yeah.
but it had a different tint to it when I was pouring it than what it actually was in the glass.
Yeah.
I don't know why this style of beer isn't more popular.
Well, you
It
think
is in Kentucky.
Yeah, I don't think it is in Kentucky either, Craig.
But
good
Kentucky's
guess.
like, look, we can't make money in beer. Let's try this whiskey craze.
Yeah.
Craig's like, it's
Bourbon.
common in Kentucky, right? It's no. So but
It's good.
Here's the
It's
thing
good.
about styles is there's so much overlap between different styles. If you want to start doing the next
So this is
round.
like a cream ale.
So this is like a darker version of a cream ale, yes. But the only thing that makes a cream ale is it's fermented. It's fermented slightly warmer, typically with an ale yeast, or you can also use a lager yeast. But you ferment it warmer and you use corn in it. And so this has both of those qualities, just with some darker malts, darker grains to give it that richness, to give it a little bit of a toasty thing.
I thought it would have a lot more malty upfront characteristics.
So did I.
And
So did I.
This is clean and bright.
It's like
good on the back end.
It's like the best version of a light 5.5% American amber ale.
Yeah.
That doesn't stick around in your mouth. It's not too hoppy. It's super, super crushable. In fact,
I love amber ales.
I love amber ale as well. And I would say that this is reminiscent of like a Yingling. I know that you,
Okay,
have you guys had much? I brought some
I've only
back.
had one or
We had
two.
a whole
We had a
bunch
whole
in
bunch,
Orlando.
yeah.
Yeah. It kind of
be nice.
has that. Yeah.
Oh, I'll be in Orlando next week.
By yourself though,
That's fine. I'll drink by myself.
but not with
And
us.
I'm fun, and I'll find someone to drink with. There
Yeah.
has to be at least one homeless person out there that'll hang out with me.
Do you want to FaceTime us?
Yeah, just call your girlfriend Rosie Palm.
Yes.
I'm sure you'll be.
She's
all
a
right.
heavy drinker, very heavy-handed.
All right, do you want to start opening the other one? What did
Not
you guys
really.
get on the nose? Did you get anything
I
on the
didn't get
nose or the?
Shocker.
It's just super clean. Huh?
Yeah, super clean, but on the back end, it's still lingering in the cheeks and a little roasty flavor back there. I like it.
It's so clean. Thank you, Justin. It's so clean. It's so good, man.
It is very
Craig
good. I like it.
Graham, Kentucky Common.
Don't-
It's a Craig beer.
Don't be too rough with those. I don't want to shake all this junk on the bottom.
Yeah.
You don't
What are
want
you,
that.
new?
Yeah. What are you, novice? You noobs.
You did all
You
the
can
homework.
have this one then.
No, you didn't shake it up.
You did all that homework. You should have read that.
I do get just what you're talking about, Craig. Just on the very finish, just this light, almost like thanks. Not roasty, but you know that roasted grains are in there. You know, good. Look at that one, beautiful. Oh, okay. So to Clay, thank you so much. That's I would contend that is hands down the best Kentucky Common,
brother. This is way darker.
One that we've drank today, but two.
I was going to say it's the best one I've had today.
Yeah, that's the best Kentucky Common I've ever had.
Yeah, it actually is better than the two that I had prior to this.
This is really pretty.
Yeah, this is way darker.
So it's a little bit darker. I see that as well. It's almost got like a nice cherry red color in the depth, the deep part of your guys' glasses.
It'll get you on the nose.
All right,
Smell it.
here we go. This one comes from Craig Graham out of Houston, Texas.
Hey, Craig.
I like them already.
And Craig says, yes, I've met Alex. That's Shank Sable, contributor to the Brewlosophy.
Ooh.
Ah, thank you.
Funny person there. He says, Marshall,
Shanks
guys.
a lot.
Shanks a lot. Thanks for drinking my hopefully okay Kentucky Common that I call Horses and Hats. The last beer I sent in was...
That's a Kentucky ode to Kentucky Derby, by the way.
Is it?
Yes. You wear a lot of big hats. If you go
I
to
knew that.
Kentucky
Yeah,
Derby.
I over my head. The last beer I sent in was the first beer you tried in the New Zealand Pilsner episode. Between my kids' spring break and I'm assuming your kids' spring break, I had a 24-hour window from the time Haven sent me a message to bottle these beers. Oh, Craig,
That's
yes.
good.
Hopefully this beer
Damn.
doesn't have some weird unforeseeable flaw like last time. This was the first time I've made a Kentucky Common. I used 6-row grits or cluster hops. Oh my gosh, it's the first time he used any of those. I have no clue if this tastes anything like a Kentucky Common. To appease the guys, I did go outside the guidelines by using Imperial Yeast Harvest. Thank you so
baby.
much. Yeah, we're okay with that,
37
Craig.
extra points, Craig.
That's also my favorite lager yeast in the world. But he says, but mainly because I'd won it from the brew club. I also only do 30-minute mashes and 30-minute boils because ain't nobody got time for 60 minutes.
Ain't nobody got no 60 minutes, especially not no Craig.
When he's making horses and hats.
I keep thinking you're talking to me. You know?
Yeah.
No, you're being disjointed from the group on
I know.
your phone.
On your Instagram, IGN over there. 71% 6-row. He went full on. This is like exactly what the brew club voted on here. So 71% 6-row malt, 21% caramel 40, 5% grits. He went 3% midnight wheat. So midnight wheat is a huskless, just a wheat malt that's been roasted really, really dark. I think 500 love upon.
midnight?
Henceforth, the midnight.
Yeah, exactly. And then he did cluster at 1 ounce, 1 ounce of cluster at the start of the boil for a 30-minute boil, of course, and then 1 ounce at 5 minutes. Fermented it with harvest. I'm assuming you fermented it at ale temps like 68 Fahrenheit, 20 C. OG was 1043, FG was 1008 for an ABV of 4.6%. Let's go. That's good stuff right there. All right. Beautiful, beautiful beer.
Dude, such a clean color.
Crystal
off-white
clear.
top.
Yeah. All right. I can't wait to hear what you guys smell and taste. Timmy likes it.
It is very good.
I smell,
I don't smell anything.
roasted corn.
I smell roasted groats. Grits? Grits. These are friggin' awesome.
It's got a little pungy in the cheek.
So
Yeah,
that
this is... Yeah, there's more depth to this one than
Yeah.
the last
Yeah.
one.
So that thing you keep grabbing your jowls, like the back of your jaw. That would
Yeah.
typically be a sign of astringency, and you can get that.
Is that treatable?
Hey Doc, I got this issue.
I got astringents in my jowls.
It's not a bad thing necessarily. Lower ABV beers, you can notice it more. Certain types of hops or hopping ratios, you can sense it more, and certain grains like darker malts and stuff, you can kind of get. I don't get it, but I trust that you do.
The other one I could feel it more like coating and a little thicker back there.
Well, it's your first time.
I know.
It's this is just.
I mean, it's a lot different from Ham's Kentucky Common.
Sure.
Hams has a Kentucky Common?
No.
Oh. That'd be cool.
You got a
man.
little excited.
Yeah, I love hams, Hams and Miller Lite.
These are just bright, acidic,
Hot-ass moms.
fresh bread, but not sourdough, like a pumpernickel.
Yeah, super pumpernickel-y. This one is good. I'm starting to get a little fuzz on my tongue, and I wonder if that might not just be the high carbonation. you know,
Super carbonated.
because it kind of they're supposed to be very highly carbonated.
I read that.
Clink.
Oh,
and drink
Tim's
there.
going back for seconds, Craig.
Oh, yeah.
That is a
I did
big,
on the
and not
other one,
our
too.
Craig. I'm talking about D. Craig.
Tim likes him some banjo.
He loves
Some
him some
banjo
green
beer.
painter's
I
tape.
did too on the last one too.
This is also Tim. This might be the first time we have Tim over for a beer review, and he doesn't get absolutely lit because there's lower ABV beers.
But I tell you
It's
what I'm worried
only
about.
been a
D,
half hour.
That's
Yeah,
why, that's why I'm drinking 2 of each.
We're just starting.
and you've got like a Miller Lite number 4 because Justin, thankfully, he brought some pizza over for us. So.
But son of a gun, this is going to be dangerous because these are all super crushable.
We should save these for our pool review coming up in summertime.
My God, it's
yeah.
good. It really
very
is
good.
so good. Craig, you nailed this. Craig,
How do you know that he
Mr. Graham, I should call him.
How do you know
Yeah.
that CG nailed this? We don't have much to compare it to.
You're right, but I like it.
It's good. He nailed the
Very
good.
good.
That's the interesting thing about this episode is that none of us have any experience, so we're kind of we're being far more subjective, right? Usually, I've judged these styles of beers, or I've drank a lot, and I kind of know what they're supposed to taste like. We're going in blind, and which makes it more fun to me. I don't know, makes it more fun to me.
Yeah, we're Lewis and Clarking this. I mean, we are
amazing.
trailblazers
I like it.
on the Appalachian Trail. Wait, does the Appalachian Mountains run through
I
Kentucky?
think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would
perfect.
watch your back on the Kentucky common beers though.
Family Tree Brewing. We got no branches.
I have a feeling that people in Kentucky make fun of themselves for
Yeah.
this. So, all right.
Next up is the legal cousin ale.
Too much? Oh, it's just a recipe. You don't know how to read recipes. Okay, this one
Steve
comes.
looks like a serial killer the way that he does his labels.
Okay,
Oh,
I like it.
ransom-
I like it
ransom
though.
note.
I like it though. Yeah. So he cut out letters. It looks like he printed it and then just cut the letters out in different sizes. So that bottle's pretty dope. This is from Steve Hiller out of Roswell, Georgia.
Boy, a lot of Georgia folks coming in strong.
This is a good. Oh, is it?
Really?
God,
Damn. Is that ketchup?
the exorcism.
Ooh, hold that up to the light.
They're all gorgeous.
I see
man.
the light.
Hey, thanks, Justin. All right, this one comes
that's
from
pretty.
again Steve Hiller, Roswell, Georgia. He calls this Steve's beer, aka Louisville. I've learned you're supposed to say Louisville. Louisville Chugger Kentucky Common instead of Slugger. I think that's kind of fun.
Oh, I get it. It's the baseball bats.
Louisville Chugger, yeah. He says, "Hey guys, I'm a late entrant, so had to come up with quickie bottle labels. They're pretty cool, actually. It's
Yeah,
my
it's super unique.
kind of my favorite bottle label of the day so far. Out of the 3 beers that we have gotten to so far, let's see.
Boy, this
He
is
was making
dark.
it after he did his ransom notice.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I got some leftover letters. Yeah.
Ransom Brewing.
If you're in Steve's basement, knock twice on the wall.
Yeah, blink 4 times. Let's see. For his grains, he used 70% Pilsner malt. I forget if that was even on there. It's not, but it's 2-row pale malt essentially. Chocolate, 5% chocolate rye, 3% crystal 40, and 22% flaked maize. That's a good chunk of flaked maize, corn. Hops, he did Holler Tower Middle Früh, 34 grams at 30 minutes. It's a lower alpha acid. And then he did Perle, German Perle, at 3 grams of it at 30 minutes. So that is not very much at all. And then he did ferment this one with the AvgBrü Nova Lager, and he fermented it just at room temp, 66F, 19C.
That's what I would have done.
The color is really pretty. It's much darker than the other ones. You can taste the chocolate.
Yeah. Little malty, roasty.
Almost like a
God,
burnt
it's
chocolate.
so good.
It's very clean. And then
It's so clean.
Yeah,
clean.
it's weird. You drink it, you're like, oh, there's not much
There's
there.
not much
and then
there,
all of a
and
sudden,
then it's there.
It's in the finish. I get the same thing. It's kind of,
Yeah.
you get kind of like it's like the burnt edges of the crust of toast.
Yeah.
That little like,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't like it, but I don't hate it.
So
I want to keep drinking it.
Yeah, it's weird. It's,
Yeah.
it's addictive.
there's no way I'm dumping this.
No, not at all.
It's not my favorite, but I'm also there's a thing that I get from Kvike yeasts, which I believe Nova Lager is a Kvike yeast, that I don't get from other standard lager and ale strains, and I get that in this. It's kind of on the finish. It's kind of a tongue coating, kind of not rubbery, but kind of a really light plastic flavor that I'm not a huge fan of. But a lot of people love Nova Lager yeast. I mean, it's very, very popular right now. So.
Yeah, I think this is good. It's a very different. So each one of these beers have been very different, which I think lends itself to the neatness of Kentucky Common, that you're using whatever you had access to make whatever you could make. So I don't know if there's like going to be one common, like, you grab a lager and lagers are going to be lagers. This, I bet, in various areas amongst, Kentuckians,
Kentuckians,
you could have different corn grown in different environments. This is good.
Well, we've done some quite a few actually. A couple experiments with like comparing flaked corn with malted corn, and even just the way it's processed can impact the way it tastes and smells and all.
Is it like a little chocolate?
I don't get chocolate from this at all. I get like Craig was said. There's a slight burnt thing I get in the finish, but I think that might be a function of how clean Nova Lager ferments. It is so clean that it leaves really nothing else. It's almost like it takes some of the malt and hops with it.
See, I don't get the crust. I'm getting the over roasted, almost burnt chocolate.
I can see where you're getting that.
Yeah.
I'm not missing that. I just don't know if I describe it that way, but yeah.
But you also don't describe these as cream ales either. Whatever.
When we were at Kingman, was it Rickety Cricket Brewing? They had a
shout out. Whoa.
Oh yeah, they had a beer that was. They called it the White Wedding.
White Wedding. Oh my
god!
And
it had white chocolate, and this kind of tastes like that.
You're right. That does give a little hint of that. It was
white chocolate.
It was a real unique flavor.
I know you guys were really bragging about being there and how good it was for this place that you just happened to find at. What was the brewery called? Do you remember?
Rickety Cricket.
Rickety Cricket. Let's give them some love because you guys absolutely loved it.
I mean,
it's a great bottle.
We each got different flights, and I picked a couple that I wanted, and then I just said, "Surprise me!"
Yeah,
and they just put whatever they put. Every one of them was good.
That's amazing. I mean that's the sign of a really solid good brewer. Yeah,
and
I'm super jealous.
We stopped there on the way to Grand Canyon, and on the way back we stopped again.
Yeah, and Tim even liked some of the hazies that he didn't think he was going to like.
They were delicious.
Everything was great.
Man. Yeah, I know that you've really been trying to get all of us to like hazies as much as you do, Craig. There is talk amongst.
Not like them.
Yeah, so far I'm not a big fan either, but that's no surprise to anybody. There's a lot of talk amongst the brew club about doing hazy IPAs at some point.
Yeah,
don't.
So that'll be fun.
This one, bring them on.
So before we, one of the things that we kind of evaluate before we start drinking the beers and all of that is the
This
way.
is important. Hold on. Can I have a coaster?
Thought you were gonna fart.
No.
So did I.
He's like, this is really everybody quiet. Everybody quiet. So thank you for doing that. Yeah. So let's see. This comes from Phil Reek. The R-E-I-K Reek. One of the things that we like to evaluate is the bottle label. This bottle didn't have a label. It had blue painter's tape, everybody's favorite because of you, Craig. I know. By the way, I got to say this now because I don't think I've asked you about it, but the Brew Club is legit asking if you'd be willing to donate some of the nicest painter's tape that you've got as a part of a reward for something.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Industrial Finishes beer line.
Yes.
We're on to something.
We're on to something.
Yeah. So there you go, the Brew Club members. Craig has already said yes. So yes, we will do that, Haven, because he was the one who asked me. But we evaluate. We like to look at the label. Well, this one, he printed out his label. He just didn't put it on the bottles, and I think it's pretty legit. Here you go. I'm going to pass it around.
Okay.
Cavalier Brewing is what he calls his home brewery.
Okay, we got a rainstorm guy walking, looks a little destitute, a little down on his luck.
You're looking at his back. He's looking like into the distance.
Yeah, he's just looking off into the distance like he's walking somewhere, but just downtrodden. Don't even look. Greg, you're not ready.
And the beer is called, what does he call this?
Kentucky Rain, 5.0 ABV from Cavalier Brewing.
Have a look, Craig. I'm going to read this.
That's deep. That's a deep-ass label, man.
Phil says, yeah, I like it. Phil says, thank you so much for accepting my submission of this quarter's AvgBrü.
You're welcome, Phil.
You're absolutely welcome. It took a lot of work accepting your submission for this. He says, I hope you all enjoy the Kentucky Common. My name is Phil with 2 L's, which I think is rad. I'm Marshall with 2 L's. I know.
Phil double L?
Yeah, Phil.
Phil Double L from where's Phil from?
From Detroit, Michigan.
Yes.
He says, I'm still relatively new to the world of homebrewing and a bit nervous. Oh, but ultimately
We'll
excited.
be gentle.
I'm excited to hear what you all think. I chose to name this beer Kentucky Rain after my favorite Elvis song. For labeling, I typically stick to just painter's tape, a habit picked up from being a restaurant cook. Please forgive my Lynn Cook handwriting. I don't know what that means, but...
Line cook handwriting.
There's no E though, Holmes. It's probably meant to be line cook. I don't any cool labels. I don't have any cool labels for these, but I've included a mock-up of the label art inside the box. It's beautiful.
That's
Phil.
badass.
I love it. Yeah. One thing that's been interesting about this Average Brew, I've only ever had one commercial example of a Kentucky Common. And even then, it was quite some time ago. I chose to basically work my way backwards from the BJCP style guidelines, as well as from descriptions of its origins. Since it was an early American beer made by German, British, and Irish immigrants with the ingredients available, I approached this as somewhere between a cream ale.
Victory!
Okay, you're right. An alt beer, pub ale, and an Irish red ale.
Oh shit! This is gonna
Damn.
be good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
It
sorry.
is.
I said a curse word. Sorry.
It's an Average Brew. We can curse on this
Got
one.
it.
Yeah, the babies, put your earmuffs on. For the ingredients, I chose to stay within the parameters provided as much as possible and went with 64% 6-row barley to give it more of that classic American beer flavor profile.
Because Detroit don't use no 5-row.
No, it's 2-row.
He's from
5-row.
he's from 6 Mile Island where they do the 6-row.
Yeah, everybody has stuff growing out. That's 3 Mile Island. 26%
Not in
flaked
Detroit.
corn. No, I believe that's Washington. 26% flaked maize or flaked corn to lighten the beer and to keep it drinkable to fit with the style. 2.7% caramel 40 for a touch of caramel flavor and color. 2.7%
Fody.
Fody. That's right. Is that Fody?
Fody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's from Detroit.
It's-
Fody.
That's
Fody.
yeah. Thanks, Kevin. 2.7% pale chocolate for a smidge more color and flavor without being a diet brown ale. Which, by the way, pale chocolate to me has a very distinct flavor. We'll see if I pick
Wait a
it up
minute.
in
What the
here.
hell is Diet Brown Ale?
I don't know what he's referring to there, but 2.7% victory malt for some added malt complexity and a very mild hint of toastiness.
It's very good.
Victory malt is it? I can tell you enjoy. You're already
Ooh.
halfway
I'm
done.
already
with your
done.
drink. So victory malt is a kind of a biscuity type of
Yeah.
flavor, and then 1.3% black malt to get that color where I want it without adding too much roast. You can tell this guy's a cook the way he thinks about
Right.
things and
It's
writes it
very
down.
linear and-
He says, I did a single infusion mash at 152 Fahrenheit for 75 minutes. It was then boiled for 60 minutes with additions of cluster at 60 minutes and 15 minutes and Sots at flame out with an OG of 1040. I cannot wait to drink this beer.
It's good.
I then chilled to around 64 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 18C. Going the ale route for this beer and pitched a packet of BRY or Bry 97. It wasn't in the parameters, but it is a very clean
Extra
fermenting. Extra points. Yeah, I broke in the rules. It's a very clean fermenting American style ale yeast. He says he had it missing from the last Average Brew. It fermented out pretty fast and cleared up nicely in the keg. He's really happy with the final color. It finished with 10 FG, giving it a nice medium ABV of 5%. P.S. I also included a can of beer I helped collaborate with on a pro brewery called Brewery Phazon.
What the hell? There's no extra can in there.
Girl, I got you. It's out in the fridge, man.
Marshall's Bogart and all the
I'm
goods.
not.
He
He also included a box of mac and cheese. So I forgot that Phil.
Son of a bitch,
and
yes.
you know what's hilarious is that Laura was. We are all feeling like shit one day because we drank too much last weekend, and Laura's going through and she's like, "Oh, we have one box of Kraft," and I was like, you can blend it because I have this box of mac and cheese. And I'd never seen it. You could tell it's like some Midwest, Michigan brand or whatever. And it was great. So thank you, Phil.
Bell's Brewery is from back in his neck of the woods, right?
Yeah, Bell's is have you had Bell's beer?
Only once or twice. It
It's
was good.
delicious. Yeah. They're a great brewery.
Ding,
Okay.
ding, ding. Order up.
The, the color on this is fire. Just a golden, like amber,
Dude, this is
auburn
good.
color.
This
It is.
yum.
Oh, auburn. That's
It's very
such a good color.
Second glass here.
Okay, yeah. Timmy loves it. Craig, I can't wait to hear what you
It's
think.
good.
Okay.
I love the flavor.
Oh my word, that freaking aroma!
See, it's crazy. This is like cleaner and crisper than the last
It
one.
is.
A little more reminiscent to the first one from Fox Hollow.
And I don't get the pungy in my mouth.
No.
the pungy.
Yeah, you're
Get
going to
your
need to see a
pungy out of-
dentist.
We are talking about Kentucky Common, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be common for you, Mr. Kentucky.
Yeah.
but it's not common for me to have pungy in
This
my
is
mouth.
friggin'
hell out of
good.
Sometimes he calls me pungy.
Yeah, I figured, Timmy.
Are you guys going canoeing?
Hey, Punji, can you pour me some more?
Dude,
No, I drink it all.
What do you get in
Four.
the aroma? Do you? I get
nothing.
straight.
Sorry.
So for those of you just tuning in, Tim does not have the schnoz of a doctor. Lloyd's of London isn't insuring it.
I'll go with beer.
Timmy's all tongue, no nose.
Yeah.
This guy over here.
This one I
That's
get
what
a
my
little.
wife likes.
This one
There it is.
So she told me, but
This one's a little less smelly than the last one.
smelly.
Or
Sinful. Sinful.
So was that fart I let.
What is it when you put a Y at the end? It's like a diminutive or whatever. It's
Yes.
like cute. You're into that today. You got punchy, smelly,
I'm
punchy.
cute.
I heard punchy, cutie. I get biscuit all the way, man. And so here's the thing.
No, hold
That-
on. What's a biscuit to you? Like a Grand's biscuit? Like a dry
a
cracker
Bisquick.
biscuit?
No. You're so those are like English biscuits or
Correct.
whatever. No, I'm talking about like a Grand's biscuit. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'd go with the Bisquick biscuit.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
same idea.
Now that I
It's
know
the
that,
same
so
deal.
this entire time, even it's very biscuity. My mind has gone to the proper English biscuit,
Like a cracker.
like a cracker.
Yeah.
No.
Because
No,
you
we
are
can
a
get some
cracker.
biscuit.
Like chicken in the biscuit.
Like, oh my god! Do you have any of those?
I love those so much.
So good.
So good.
Oh my
Chicken
god,
in a
they're
biscuit.
so good. When I was a kid, I would suck the stuff off of it and then put them back in the box.
But have you
those
ever
are
had
plain
the
salt-
But have
those
you
are
ever
plain
had the
crackers.
chicken and Have you ever had the chicken in the biscuit?
Hey, we just had some of those camping.
We did.
They're amazing.
They're bomb. Laura buys them all the time.
You know,
We might
Marshall's
we might
mom's
actually
like,
have some.
"What the hell? How did I get up with a box of saltines? I thought they were chicken and biscuits."
Yeah, they weren't even salty. I sucked all the salt off them
Yeah,
too.
I know. That's why.
They were basically like communion wafers.
No chicken, all biscuit.
Yeah, no chicken, all biscuit.
So this is
Don't eat the peanut M&Ms here either.
Yeah.
He sucked all the chocolate off them.
I put them in the planter's jar. Put them in the planter's jar. So the pale chocolate. So Victory is kind of a biscuity. It's actually, I believe it's Breese's version of biscuit malt. It's just called something different. But pale chocolate at 2%, it's what I use in my Vienna lager, which you guys all love. And there's just that little hint of like a warm, kind of nutty baked bread kind of flavor to it, and this is why I love pale chocolate. This is my favorite one so far, and
Yeah,
I love all of
me
them
too.
so far. But this is legit.
This is
This
a
is good.
forgivable painter's tape beer.
Yeah, this is my.
Was it just?
I'm not
Painter's
ready
Tape
to
on
tell
the-
what my
okay.
favorite is.
It was.
You're gonna wait till the end.
I'm gonna wait till the end.
All right, I like it.
But I have two clear front runners. God, this is freaking
Oh
good.
my
This
goodness
is good.
gracious! I never do the thing where I'm like, oh, it's so good, you should go start a brewery. But if somebody were to take this exact recipe and make a commercial beer that tasted exactly like this,
I would order this
All
on the
day
regular.
long.
craft
Yeah.
beer would be back, baby, because this is delicious.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Wait, where's
Kentucky
craft beer going?
It's a little
left?
bit of a. It's gonna-
Where have I
tailspin.
been getting drunk at all of these weekends?
Your mom's house?
Funny, I didn't see him there.
That's hurtful.
Just because Tim's your stepdad, your
Yeah.
secret little stepdad.
That's
over
fine.
here.
He
This is
changes
so
my
good.
brakes and changes my mom's fluids.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You will now refer to me as Daddy.
Yeah. This is so good.
That was very good.
Golly. We got
Damn.
a bomb.
look at
That's a big beer.
That ain't that common.
Yeah, that's the least common bottle we've seen all day so far. Is this number 5?
That's like Craig. He's 6'4".
What?
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
like-
Craig bottle.
That's
It's
Craig
a
next
common
to
Craig.
Justin.
It's me and Justin standing
That is
together.
hurtful. That is hurtful. Craig is freakishly large.
Hurtful. Craig is freakishly large.
Look, I'm tall in China, so
That's what they tell you, buddy. That's yeah. My glass. Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm not gonna wash it out for you.
That is cool that you've been washing my glass out for me. Okay, this is the. I'll tell you, this is the strongest Kentucky Common that we've had so far, at 6.4%. It's made by Gary Kilby out of Keyser, Oregon. I didn't know there was a place called Keyser. That's kind of cool.
Shut the front door.
That's cool.
It might be Kaiser, Keizer, Keiser.
No, that's Keiser.
I'm calling it Keyser.
Yeah, a lot of funky in the Keiser.
Oh,
Yeah.
Keister?
In
Yeah.
old Keister, Oregon.
Keister
Yeah,
Common.
get you no good.
Hey, you
Shut
kids,
your
get
mouth,
out
you know
my
what's good for
Keister. Where's the
All right. Let's see. Gary Kilby. He says, "Hey guys, thanks for sampling my take on the Kentucky Common. This is my first time shipping beer, so hopefully it made it to you in good shape. The ABV came in a little higher than I intended. The FG, that's the finishing gravity, should have been around 1012, but it fermented down to 1004. Holy moly, bud. with Imperial Yeast A07 flagship.
Wait, hold on.
Yep, go.
So let's share with your members, for those that might not know, why is the gravity important and what does it do if it's lower?
So when we talk about original gravity or specific gravity is the measure. Original is where it starts, finishing is where it finishes, obviously. So the specific gravity gives you a measure of the density of the beer, and that's going to change as alcohol becomes more and more present. So what it does is it kind of gives you this. I'm trying to dumb this down. Eli 5 it for you guys.
Tim, Craig, listen.
Obviously, Justin knows.
Hey, fun
What?
fact, guys.
Suck up.
What are you up to, Nami? My ideal weight if I'm 6'7".
So, anyways, that's what we'll go into gravity stuff later if you really want to talk
actually, I
about
don't
it.
really want
Yeah,
to.
it's kind of
Thanks.
boring. So this one, the original gravity was 1053, and it got all the way down to 1004. So we're at 6.4% ABV. He used 2-row, no 6-row, probably because that's what he had. He used flaked corn at 17% of the grist, chocolate malt, and then crystal 40. So this is really similar to most everybody else. My daughter is making faces at us right now. Or doing
I
something.
think she needs you. There's something going on.
Okay. Now
Daddy's
she can-
working.
Use a fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
There's a fire. Yeah.
Stop, drop, and roll. Boy, as much as we talked about stop, drop, and roll in school, I thought I was going to be on fire a lot more as an adult.
I know. Same with earthquakes. I thought I was going to be in a
Yeah.
lot more earthquakes and having to go under tables.
Yeah. Now, you guys are older, so you probably had like air raid sirens and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gas masks and things. Yeah. Got
Cold
it.
War
Flashbacks
stuff.
are horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, they were riding their horses to school back
Yeah.
in the, you know what I mean?
Uphill both ways in the
Yeah,
snow.
Exactly. Here in Fresno, that Fresno snow. Yeah. Boy, he made 12 gallons of this beer too. So
12
and you only
gallons?
sent us one bomber. Come on there, Gary.
Damn, that's good.
There's a lot of people going through the keister to drink his beers.
Keezer.
That's what he said.
Keezer,
Keezer, that's what he
Oregon.
said.
Yeah, okay.
Easter Common.
It's a keister common.
Everything else looks like it's right on point. He's got a color of 12 SRM. It looks a little darker than that to me, but
That's good.
Dude, quit reading and taste. This is freaking amazing.
I can't wait.
His
20
head
idea.
has hung around the longest out
It
of them all.
is.
Which is interesting
Why is
because
that?
higher ABV tends to, they say at least, can have a kind of a foam negative effect.
It deheads.
But it de-heads, yeah.
This is heady.
amazing.
Here we go. Look how crystal clear that is. Well, I'll tell you this, Gary.
It's dark.
I haven't even tasted or smelled your beer yet.
Jeez.
Good?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's good stuff coming out of his keister organ.
Flavor is all over.
I can't wait to taste
It's
it. But I
good.
wanted to tell him that the first time shipping a beer, he nailed it. I mean,
Well, the bottle is freaking huge.
Well, his
It's a
label,
bomb. Remember those were
let's be
popular
real,
back
though.
in the
his,
day.
His label sucks.
Oh, it
It's
smells.
duct tape with a paint tape with a.
But it is gray duct tape.
No. His
not
label
blue.
sucks.
Painter's tape.
Yeah, if you're gonna go cheap, you go cheap with painter's tape. Only from Industrial Finishes, from Craig. So
Yes.
he's lost
telling
some
you.
points on the duct tape. So let's step up the game here, people.
Gary, I'm giving you points back because I like the gray duct tape. I like it's not the light silver gray. It's like a darker, almost black with
On a brown bottle,
on a-
gray and brown don't go together.
Also, gray and brown don't go together. But also,
Look, I
he
have
wrote-
veto authority. I'm basically the UN here. I'm
yeah.
taking the points that you gave him.
But also, he used a silver Sharpie to write on said duct tape, and I think
no.
those cost more than black
it gives
Sharpie.
a little more class.
A little more class, yeah.
But I'm giving his points back because this beer tastes
All right, let's-
awesome.
I'm going
Very
in. You
It
guys
tastes awesome.
tell me what you smell and taste, not just how good it is, because I
I smell sunshine.
I don't smell anything.
I smell spring.
I smell Kentucky. Kentucky.
That's me.
Ooh,
Right?
oh, that is so good.
This is dangerous
Is it a little
because
bit
it's a
bitter
higher
at the end?
ABV.
Yeah.
Super
A
crushable.
little thicker.
It's
It's
got a little
kind
bit.
of bitter at the end.
I get that too, but I think that might be the alcohol. I just think we're used to the 4.8 to 5.2. This is a whole percentage higher.
This
than
is
that.
like beer.
Yeah, it's
but it's
good.
not hot. I don't
No.
feel any warmth in my throat
No,
or anything
nothing.
like that.
No.
It's good.
God, I'm passing out in the pool.
Yeah, let's
Type
go.
good.
I get a very I don't want to say it until you guys kind of actually think about what you're smelling and tasting first. But there's a very distinct note that I get in this.
Corn.
Broccoli.
Just because corn's in it doesn't mean it's going to taste like corn every
Asparagus.
time.
Bacon
very-
wrapped asparagus.
it's very
Asparagus piss,
vegetal.
yeah. You get vegetal?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not a good thing. He's like, I love it. It's
I like
vegetal.
vegetables.
Yeah, so
Front
do I.
end or back end?
Yeah. Beginning or
Hold on.
finish? Yeah.
Right in the middle.
Oh, hey, look, the head's back.
Because you just spit in your freaking
How's the
glass.
taste coming out your nose?
Still don't smell a whole lot. I'm in the Tim camp
I
here.
get
I
that.
don't have a very developed out schnoz.
I get roasted almonds.
Oh, thank you for adding what you get.
Okay,
I smell
He
yellow.
asked.
If that's what you're getting, I can get that too. It's more, but to me, it's more of like a marzipan smell. But that's not what
I don't
Marzipan.
know what that is.
Oh, almond.
We're
paste.
not doctors.
Marzipan.
Yeah, is that what you yell when you jump out and you give up playing hide and seek? Marzipan.
Abracadabra.
Yeah, abracadabra, Holmes.
But that's not what I get. But it goes along with that. I get a really interesting, like a dark cherry kind of.
Oh, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I figured.
Not even
I could
close.
smell. I could see it in your eyes. That
No.
I get like a really distinct kind of dark cherry thing.
I
in
could
the
taste
fi-
that on the back
on the
after it
finish.
sits a while. Yeah.
that's what I'm getting to. You get that too. It's not
Now
wild.
that
It's
you-
not
now
wild
that you
cherry.
said it.
Almost
Yeah.
like an old fashioned.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
A little bit.
Yes.
But it's not, there's so many different types of cherry. So it's not like wild cherry or icy flavored cherry. It's not that.
That's artificial.
Yeah. But I don't, also, what is wild cherry? All
Sugar.
cherries kind of wild. I get more of like what they call Tulare cherries, those really dark red ones.
From
When
Tulare.
you eat it. Isn't it weird that they I
corn-
guess they were from here in the Central Valley. But,
Tulare.
Yeah, Tulare. Yeah. Visalia.
I heard someone say that.
A lot of people say that. It's silly.
So stupid.
Vidalia.
Yeah.
No, that's an onion.
Those are onions, and they're great. And I know that that's a city in Georgia, I believe, right?
Sammy Kershaw song as well.
Yeah.
Vidalia onion.
Vidalia.
Carry on.
Really?
wrote a song
Oh,
about
Jelly
onions.
Roll did a cover of that. Just so you know, everybody,
need a favor.
everybody in the everybody out there in the brew world, Marshall is an avid fan of
Oh,
Jelly
he loves
Roll.
them.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Lord, I need a favor. Marshall loves him and wants him to do a cover, ironically, of The Sound of Silence.
Oh my God.
He does.
So big fan.
He's
Big
wearing
fan.
a Jelly Roll shirt right now.
Yeah, well, he's just thick. He's a little bloated today. That's
I
why
just
it looks like
I
it.
just look like Jelly Roll.
Yeah,
Is that
you
what it is? Yeah. I do have a Jelly Roll shirt thanks to you two. I've never worn it. But these are my friends.
You know,
They
the
try to
people in the
force feed me
sweatshop
shitty
that made
music.
that for Amazon are going to be disappointed.
God, I know. No, I told you I'd put it in my trailer for next time we go camping. I'll make you guys happy by wearing it when we camp.
I
That's
need
what
you to
I'll do.
cut the sleeves off, though.
Oh, I'll do that.
Okay,
Yeah. While I'm at it, I might just cut the whole thing off.
Will you
Cut
put
the whole thing
tattoos
off.
on your face?
Yeah. Does he have tattoos on his face?
Yeah.
Dude, he's awesome.
Like you don't know.
yeah,
I don't.
You're-
I
you're-
think tattoos on face, I think Post Malone. He's got tattoos on
God.
his face, right?
yeah, but he's what Jelly Roll would look like if he started Ozempic.
He started the Olympics.
Ozempic. And lost like 600 pounds.
Yeah. Look for him in Paris 2024.
the long jump.
Yeah, Post Malone is like a fraction of the size of Jelly Roll now.
Yeah, somebody sent me a. I'm not. I couldn't tell you songs he sings, but I know some. I just But somebody sent. I think my daughter sent me like an Instagram thing of him being super duper nice to people.
Wait, which one?
Post Malone.
Both him and Jelly Roll seem like legitimately nice human
I'm
beings.
sure they are.
Yeah.
I'm sure they
Yeah,
are.
they do.
Yeah. Even if you write shit music, I'm cool with like you being a nice person. You know,
He doesn't write any of it. He just sings it.
That's cool. I mean, I'm down. You know,
Are you down?
well,
Are you
I'm more
down?
down than I am up at this point. I'll tell you that.
Boom.
Yeah. So excellent beer. Who brewed that one again? Let's give him a little bit more love. I forget. I think I might have thrown
This
it.
is just a Kentucky Common Average Brew.
Oh, it's
I don't-
Gary.
Yeah,
Gary made
Gary
it.
from
Gary.
Keister.
Yeah. Well, that is the first 5 beers. Was that the 5th one, Justin?
That was.
We made it through all 5?
Five.
Since that's a big beer,
Five.
why don't we go round 2 and do it again?
You know what? We'll have to do that.
But I got to go to the bathroom, so we're going to take a little break. When
Uh-oh,
we come
breaking the
back,
seal.
I already
when
did.
I got to break this. I think I broke it this morning, actually. But when we come back, we'll be doing some more Average Brew reviews, Kentucky Common. There's no denying that stainless steel is the best material for brewing equipment, and Delta Brewing Systems offers some of the lowest prices on high-quality stainless gear, like the Firm Tank, which in addition to holding 8 gallons or 30 liters of wort, comes with a domed lid to even further reduce the chances of a messy blow-off. Plus, it can hold up to 4 psi of pressure for closed transfers. Delta Brewing Systems also has their own line of brew kettles, as well as one of the lowest-priced all-in-one electric brewing systems out there, and their prices are shockingly low. If you're in the market for legit stainless gear that won't break the bank, do yourself a favor and head over to deltabrewingsystems.com today. Chilling wort can be a chore, especially after a long brew day, but not with the Xchillerator Counterflow Chiller, which can chill a 5-gallon or 19-liter batch of wort in 5 minutes or less, leading to a strong cold break and clear wort in the fermenter. Brewlosophy's Matt Del Fiacco uses the Xchillerator Max and absolutely loves it. In addition to improved chilling efficiency, every Xchillerator comes with a 5-year warranty that covers the entire chiller for manufacturer defects. If you're looking to up your chilling game and a CFC is right for you, head over to Xchillerator.com today.
Seeking the truth never gets old. Introducing June's Journey, the free-to-play mobile game that will immerse you in a thrilling murder mystery. Join June Parker as she uncovers hidden objects and clues to solve her sister's death in a beautifully illustrated world set in the Roaring '20s. With new chapters added every week, the excitement never ends. Download June's Journey now on your Android or iOS device, or play on PC through Facebook Games.
Worried about letting someone else pick out the perfect avocado for your perfect impress them on the third date guacamole? Well, good thing Instacart shoppers are as picky as you are. They find ripe avocados like it's their guac on the line. They are milk expiration date detectives. They bag eggs like the 12 precious pieces of cargo they are. So let Instacart shoppers overthink your groceries so that you can overthink what you'll wear on that third date. Download the Instacart app to get free delivery on your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
All right, let's get into this next beer. We're back. We're our bladders are empty. We're doing good. Those prior Kentucky comments, boy. I'm just hoping. What would the odds be if like the next 5 that we have are just utter shit? I doubt that's going to happen.
I doubt it.
But it would be weird. So this next one is actually quite special because Eric Hagen, the Brew Club member Eric Hagen, who submitted this beer, also submitted another Kentucky Common, and he went. There we go.
There it is.
That's what clipping sounds like, fellas. So he submitted 2 versions of his Kentucky Common. One made with pale 2-row malt, and the other made with the more traditional pale 6-row malt. So we're going to start with those 2 first. This is like Brewlosophy style right here because it's comparative. We're having fun with it. And we're going to start with the 2-row one because that's what I happened to grab first and opened up. But while you guys are pouring and drinking and smelling and all that stuff, I'm going to read what Eric had to say. He said, I'm pretty excited to be picked to send into this again. And I thank you guys for taking the time to do this. Thank you, Eric, for sending us this stuff. I've sent you 2 of the same beer, except one's made with 2-row, one's made with 6-row. I won't bore you with the recipe, except he did print out the recipes for both.
Strike one.
Strike one, yeah. But it takes an extra pound of 6-row to hit the same OG, which I found interesting. The beers started at 1052 and 1050 and finished at 1006 and 1004 respectively.
Oh.
Curious to see you guys. That's interesting. Curious to see if you guys can pick a big flavor difference. P.S. The picture on the label that looks like the Brewlosophy show's own Will Allwart is what AI spits out when you tell it to give you a Southern gentleman on a porch enjoying beer. Let me see.
It is badass.
You know what?
It does look like Will Allwart.
Hey, you know what the coincidence is we all wearing that right now.
Yeah, we're all bow ties, vests.
So audience, picture this.
I'm wearing just a cummerbund right now. Nothing else.
Nothing else.
Just a cummerbund.
Which is a pink cummerbund, yeah.
Grandpa Will, Kentucky Common, beer for Southern gentlemen.
I love
Sitting on a porch drinking a beer.
Yeah. So here's the deal. The 2-row version is the one that started at 1052 and finished at 1006.
PM or AM?
Yeah, good one.
I see what you did there.
OG and FG, actually. So this one, he did mostly stuck with the parameters. He used rye malt, which wasn't a part of it, but...
Extra points.
Points back, yeah. So he did 75% either pale 2-row or 6-row. We've got the 2 beers. And then everything else
deuce
is the
or
same.
6?
17% flaked maize, 4% rye malt, 2% caramel 40, 2% pale chocolate. Oh, baby. And so 2% pale chocolate and 0.5% of Carafa Special 3, which is a really dark roasted huskless grain so that you don't get a real burnt flavor. But let's see what you guys think of it. It looks beautiful. Do you want to talk about the label a little more? I feel like we already did that with the AI.
Label's
and the
amazing.
gentleman's
I like
label.
it.
He
I like the
absolutely
label.
gets
Yeah.
credit for
Yeah.
the label.
Yeah,
Good
nailed
for
it.
him.
Winner.
Let's talk about the way this beer looks, because it's quite pretty.
Very auburn in color to light brown at the bottom. It's pretty.
It's got a great flavor.
It's got a lot up front.
I got
Compared to
pale
the
chocolate
others.
right off the bat.
You get it, huh?
Yep.
That nutty kind of warm. I get it every single 2%
Yeah.
pale chocolate's all you need.
Oh, it's so good.
That's
And you
weird
just-
that you call it warm. I'm like, that's stupid. That doesn't make
Warm
sense
nutty?
until you drink it.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I get it.
But I think the reason somebody else asked me why I refer to the flavor of biscuit malt, victory malt, and pale chocolate as being warm. And I think the reason is because I associate that biscuit flavor with warmth. And so to me, it's like this night when warm almost more is like not
Comforting.
temperature comforting. Yeah, exactly. Kind of like you expect it. It
like
does
your
the
mom
beer-
made a biscuit.
Yeah.
But
Like
my
a little-
mom went out for milk and never came home. So I don't associate a lot of things like
She's
that.
still
with
over
warm.
at Tim's
She was
house.
at my
bro.
house.
God dang it. I walked right into that one. That's what she said.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. I want to look at the hops on this one. I feel like he might have used.
It is Kentucky Common.
Oh, get this. So he used cluster for bittering at 60 minutes, half an ounce. So that's about 14 grams. Same amount at 30 minutes. And then an undefined hop, half an ounce, so 14 grams at 2 minutes, which would be that aroma and some flavor. I wonder what that undefined hop is, because I get
a
almost.
secret.
It is a secret.
Mystery.
I get kind of a Cascade-like almost fruitiness from.
Marijuana.
It's weed. We're all,
It's dank.
Remember
Nailed
that
it.
episode?
which one are you talking?
The weed one. We
That
had the
one.
weed beer.
What are you talking about?
That's a different podcast.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. I'm only
I've
on
never had a
one.
weird beer. You had a weird beer?
Weed
No.
beer. I've had weed beers before. Yes, of course I have. Look
It
at
wasn't
me.
actually weed beer, but it was a weed. I don't know. It was something where we kept talking about weed in the beer, like the flavor and the smell,
Oh, that
but
was
it actually
dank.
wasn't weed.
Yeah, it's referred to as dank.
I do recall
Moist.
like 2 average brews ago where somebody said that they used like hemp seed or something.
Something like that, but it wasn't actual weed because that would be illegal.
No, it's
no,
not.
it wouldn't. We passed a law.
Yeah, weed beers don't taste good, in my opinion. There's
I wouldn't
somebody
think-
out there
Because it's
there's
drugs,
somebody
and
out
drugs
there.
are bad.
Right. Just say no.
Yeah.
Just
Via
say,
Nancy Reagan.
say no to saying no is what I say. You know what I mean?
No.
I will tell you though that weed and hops are cousins. So I'm sure there's someone listening like, no, I
Kentucky
figured
beer.
out. I figured out how to make a good weed beer. What do you guys think of this? The 2-row one. Now, mind you, we're gonna pour the 6-row one next.
This tastes 4 points different.
4 rows better.
But you haven't tasted the other one yet.
Yeah, I could just tell that this doesn't have as many rows of flavor.
It has 4 rows different.
Yeah, it's something about it. I can't put my finger on it, but it tastes like it's.
Yeah, I want to taste the 4-row and really compare it to the 2-row, and then see what row
the problem
falls
is we
in
have a
between
6-row.
of all the rows.
You mean 6-row?
What about the in between rows?
Is there a 4-row?
Do I look?
Ruh-roh.
Don't answer this. but Ruh-roh. I am not a grain barley expert. I have no idea. I've looked at pictures of 2-row and 6-row, like stocks, and yeah, they look a little different. But I don't know where they're getting the numbers from. So I'm an
Yeah, what
idiot.
distinguishes a 2-row versus a 6-row?
The number of rows.
What about a 5-row? 4-row?
It would be more like 4 and 12.
Marshall
row, I
says
think.
when you stick a stock in your eye, if you see 2, it's a 2-row. If you see 6, it's a 6-row.
that's
When you're
how-
looking at it like this.
That's the science behind it.
See,
apparently.
look at Greg. When you look at it like this,
Do you guys talk
if you look
offline
at it
when
like
Tim and I are not
this,
around?
well, you guys are never paying attention. You don't.
just
It's like you
said
didn't even
it.
try to learn.
No. Where
If
were
there
you
was
in
only-
where
if
were you
there
in
was-
barley class, bud?
If there was only a handheld device that you could put in words, and it brought back information.
Oh,
Try
there is that. It's the
iPhone.
Etch-a-Sketch.
Oh,
Oh,
I got
iPhone.
I got a pager.
Yes,
I still have a page.
Yeah,
there.
page Tim. You guys can set up a time to meet at the payphone.
We are so off track right now. We're not. Look, can we talk about the beers? Why are we talking about payphones?
I tell you what,
and pagers?
two-row is friggin' delicious.
This is great. So far, we started off this third segment here on a good note. Thank you, Justin.
This
The
has
green caps, yeah.
Way more going on right up front than all the other beers.
Flavor-wise, because
Flavor-wise.
you're all tongue and no nose. Don't share his address.
I'm not sharing his address.
It's rated G.
But this is Eric Hagen from Aberdeen, South Dakota.
Huh.
Yeah.
Is that south of...
What's in South Dakota?
Well, no, but so to get to South Dakota, you have to go to North Dakota, northbound, but in the southbound lanes. Does that make sense?
Is there an eastern and western portion of North and South Dakota?
Yeah.
No, it's circular.
Oh. It's a big... It's like a toothpick. There's no east or west. Family Tree Brewing, where we don't have any branches.
This episode's brought to you by Family Tree Brewing. Family Tree Brewing, we got no branches.
Kentuckians, we love you. But just not
Sweet
that way.
Uncle Carl.
Sweet
Good Lord. I'll just take the bottle. Rose?
Yeah.
Uncle Carl's candy.
So that's so. Craig is the creepiest dude on
So
earth. Yeah.
creepy.
Yeah. Uncle Carl's candy.
Oh, word, Uncle Carl.
So I will say we've done an experiment comparing 6-row to 2-row in a pale lager, and if I
This
recall,
is so different.
Is it really?
Yes.
I haven't smelled or tasted it. So if I recall correctly, well, maybe I won't talk about it until we taste it and review it. Let's see where
We
we're
should
at.
have done a side by side.
This you can actually smell.
Yeah,
Way
you
more
can,
malty.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, well, maybe that's the right word. I mean,
No, I'm not questioning your malty thing. What I'm saying is they taste so similar to me.
What?
No.
Let's do a washout.
Oh, you crazy player.
See, I feel like we should have what? Okay, when you finish that one, pour the 2-row. You're drinking it out of the bottle.
The 6-row is way more complex.
Really?
Yeah, try it.
Well, when
the
you
tip.
when you're just the tip.
No, the tip
That's
of the
why
bottle.
we're here.
I know what you're talking about.
Could you
bro.
take a swig
Oh.
and then pour it
Yeah,
into
you're
his
right.
mouth?
It's got a lot more flavor.
Here,
What's
Marshall, open.
It really does.
what's the ABV difference?
I just smelled the 2-row, and I'm smelling the 6-row, and it has more character to it. The 6-row does.
Yeah, there's it's like there's
If I can
4
smell it,
times as many
something's different.
rows.
It's
Yeah.
yeah. The
Tim, you're right. Mr. No Nose over here is finally smelling some shit.
I can't tell you what it is, but it smells.
Oh, it smells malty. I just get like generic.
It's got more
malt.
body.
Yeah. Also on the tongue. That's where
Malto-meal.
Yeah. Malto-meal. Yeah.
Malto-meal.
Which I believe is corn grits. So
That would make sense.
Cream of Kentucky.
I like this one a little better.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do too.
I don't know if I like it better. I mean, I think I would rather have
I like it better.
more glasses of the 2-row than I would the 6-row. But if
Shut
I
your
want something
face.
for flavor,
6-row.
So
6-row.
I'm
So
down
it's
for
the-
6-row.
yeah, so am I. I like the 6-row better. Oddly enough, the experiment that I was referencing earlier that Jake did, I believe he described the 6-row batch as having more of an earthy flavor and the 2-row batch as being cleaner. And that might be what we're picking up here. You guys just gonna stare? Yeah.
Well, you were hiccuping.
I'm afraid to. Yeah, I'm afraid to say this is
Right?
creamy
I was
because
quietly
it's not
burping.
creamy.
I was quietly burping, Tim. I wasn't gonna puke.
He was fluffy.
So this is 1050 to 1004. So
Oh,
basically the same ABV.
but it's like there's 2 times as many rows.
It's got at the back end.
3 times as many.
It hangs around a lot more.
My mouth is better when we
Yeah,
start.
but I think that might be partially due to the mouthfeel is a little bit thicker. I get a little bit more. Shut up,
Yeah.
dude. Shut
It
up.
usually is in
I'm laughing at
Kentucky.
Tim making fun of my mouth.
Yeah. 2 times as many. Plus 2, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 times to the second power.
Yeah,
That's not accurate either.
that's still 4. Yeah,
No, 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 to the second power is 16.
16. I thought you said 2 to the second power. Okay, bud.
Don't come at me, bro.
Okay.
I know you're a doctor.
Yeah,
Hey, fun
that's right.
fact. Did
Not
you
that
know
kind
in
of doctor.
Kentucky there still is wet counties and dry counties?
Isn't that crazy? That's
Right,
disappointing.
That's a lot of southern states. I guess Oklahoma saw as dry counties as
Really?
well. Yeah. Jersey did tell me though that maybe he didn't. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. But I recall him telling me that they did away with the whole ABV limit in,
I think
that was
where
Jersey.
he lives. Yeah, so that you can get normal Coors Light now.
Oh, thank goodness.
And you can't buy on Sunday.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
pretty common, though, in a lot of places.
Thank God we're heathens, because well, 3 of us.
Yeah, 3 of you are.
Yeah.
I'm saved.
Well, even when Tim and I were in Montana, you couldn't buy beer, or you couldn't buy liquor in a grocery store. You had to go to a
Special
liquor
liquor
store
Washington State used to be like that.
with a drive-through.
Yeah. Washington State
yeah.
used to be this. When I
Yeah,
turned
we're not going to let
21
you walk in to buy booze, but we'll let you drink it in the car.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys want some samples while you wait?
But they do.
Exactly.
The reason they do that is for taxes. They make massive amounts of money because they're all state-run liquor stores. So it's anyways. We're off on another tangent. This beer I like better. Whoa, drippy drip. I was
Tired of
looking
this
at it.
crap.
It just went all the way under my wife's desk.
Did it really? Damn it.
Yeah, it's all good. Don't worry about it. We'll get it later.
He knows what he's doing from South Dakota.
Without a doubt. And this just yet again is 2 more Kentucky Commons that make me realize Kentucky Common needs to be way more popular than it is.
This has like, well, so
Absolutely.
this 6-row starts heavier, but ends very bright on the back of your tongue.
Yeah, I want to know what that undefined hop is, because I think that might be contributing to that. I think it might be.
This is crazy.
It's so good. It's this 6-row version is God.
What is
Craig,
wrong with you?
He's just full of air.
A belchy.
Yeah. Belchy? Another one. Yeah. This is why you guys are best friends for life. He laughs at all his jokes. Look, you can't stop. These beers were rad. Both of them super good. But I'm with you, Craig. I'm 6-row all the way.
Yeah.
The 2-row one was delicious.
6-row for life.
6-row for life. Oh my God, that'd be a cool brewlosophy shirt.
Right?
6-row for life. Even though I've never used it in a beer that I've made. 500 plus beers, I've never used 6-row.
Why? Huh? Why?
Haven't I?
Yes.
Because I've never thought to. I just get the normal pale malt and I go with it.
All right, next beer.
You just ran over my toe with
Move your friggin' Frankenstein feet here.
All right, we're moving on to the next beer.
Miner's Respite. There is a picture of a miner pulling a beer out of the rock. So it's kind of cool.
That's really cool.
Miner's
Sound like
Respite,
a little
6% ABV or ABV. Long day in the mines. This traditional Kentucky common brew was made in Peak Bourbon County. Country, excuse me. Country, there's an R there. And would find itself in the hands of many a miner. You don't have to sink your pick in far to get a full booty of flavor. Wow. Oh, full body of flavor. Of roasted nuts with a nice malty backbone and a sweet, creamy finish from commonly added maize adjunct.
Maize is corn. And also, anytime roasty nuts and creamy adjunct comes up, Tim can't help
I have
but
to laugh.
It's like you're 12. And I love it. I love every minute.
I have a feeling a similarly 12-year-old person wrote that. 'Cause
Yeah.
the way it was
You don't have to sink
worded.
your pick in far to get a full body
There we
flavor
go.
of roasted nuts with
Okay.
a nice malty backbone and a sweet creamy finish.
I love the label. If it was, let me give some.
I love the label.
Mr.
I
Creepy
love
Craig over
the
here.
label.
These labels real
Uncle Carl's on it. Now, it's great. If it was in color and it didn't have
Look at this.
frickin' blue tape on it, it'd be amazing.
Should have seen it.
Ooh, buddy. That is one gorgeous pour. That's the best foam we've seen all day. So, which means it's high. Okay, so this comes from
Wait, no, finish that statement, which means what? God, that is a good head.
highly carbonated. I said, yeah. So here we go. This one comes from Andre Korer.
Andre.
Andre out of AK Brewing, he's from Eagle River, Alaska. So I imagine it's Alaska. And
Aspen.
he sent a nice little note.
Good
I'm going to
smell.
read it. I want to give credit. I'm going to read
Yeah.
this. He says, "Hey Marshall and Average Brew podcast. It's the Brewlosophy podcast. Andre, come on, bud.
That would
Come
be
on, Andre.
and Craig and
Yeah.
Tim and Justin.
Damn, it's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, and
Jordan.
Jordan and Greg and Jim. Okay, cool.
Jim.
So he says, "Hey Marshall and Average Brew, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share my passion with everyone. I first started to take an interest in beer when I worked at the University of Fairbanks, Alaska's pub back in college. I've heard a lot of good things about that pub, by the way, at that college, which is rad." He says, "I still think it's awesome that the campus has a pub. But my true start was like many others, brewing with my friend on a kitchen stove in a 5-gallon kettle with extract. I brewed on and off for years at a friend's house with a system we shared, but as his time became limited, so did brew days. I can say that my passion really bloomed again this last summer when I was able to put together a brew corner in my garage. There's a picture of it I'll pass around. It's dope. Yeah. For the first time I had my own brewing space, I reconnected with the Great Northern Brewers Club, our state club, and more impactfully, I found the Brew Club, a group of people with passion and interest in what they do and who want to share it. Since joining, I've improved my methods greatly. From using RO water, this brew was my first batch with RO water. Ooh, that's fun.
RO
to
water.
pressure fermenting and
Reverse
closed
osmosis.
transfers. Reverse osmosis.
Come on.
My main goal is to be able to pour a beer for myself and others that we can enjoy with the same quality brought by commercial brews. Now, a bit about the beer, Miner's Respite. I've told many who ask about this beer that it is a cross between a red and a brown ale. That's the second person to comment on that, right? So he says, my version has a distinct malt, but also roasted nut flavor that I find pleasant. So does Tim. It came out stronger than expected due to me using my own mill for the first time.
Oh.
Yeah, when you buy your own mill, you actually can mill a lot finer than they do at the homebrew shop, and that will increase your extraction, so increase your strength overall.
That increases the amount of extract.
There you go. Unfortunately,
Surface area.
Yeah, I recently had issues with my keezer requiring me to remove and bottle all of my kegs so I could fix it. Due to that issue, these beers will have been bottled for about a month and sitting in my garage by the time you drink them.
Perfect.
I apologize if it's an oxidized mess. You guys know that very well because it's purple and icky.
It's not.
But hopefully it's not. Either way, brew on. Cheers. It is not, Andre, an oxidized mess. What mess whatsoever.
What it is, Andre, is mother flippin' delicious.
It's delicious.
So here's what I'm
gorgeous,
really
too.
digging
Look at
about
that.
this whole. You get into so many of these unique clubs, right? Whether rock climbing or whatever type of your hobby is, right? The brewing industry seems like it's full of just really legit people that want to hang out, have a good time, and they want to share,
Yeah.
information.
That
It just seems like it's fun.
Sharing is caring.
It is.
Yeah. I'll tell you, the Brew Club has a very unique setup. I mean, they got their start about 5 years ago. I think it was right around 2018, 2019.
That math checks out.
Yeah. It's about 5 years old. They started in 1984.
I was born at a young age.
Yeah, but the cool thing is that we didn't. It's not Brewlosophy's club. It was started by a group of people who really value the approach that we take and the perspective that being evaluative, being comparative, comparing different beers, not just accepting tradition. What people tell you have to do it, and I think that attracts a certain type of person, a certain type of personality at the very least, that makes it what the Brew Club has become, which is super cool, and people wanting you to drink their beers and say what you think about it and be honest about it.
It's a bunch of dudes like showing like, hey, man, this is something that I love.
Yeah.
And I want to share it with you. I want you to like it as much as I do. And then it just seems like there's a big giant domino effect of guys are like, man, this is a lot of fun. Let me get into it. Personally, I don't want to spend the time that it takes to brew.
Good.
I just want people
like
to continue to
Alaskan
send in more
Hammer.
beer.
Yeah, I like to take the time to drink it, not brew it.
Exactly.
And it's amazing.
Exactly. And then Andre took it a step further and created a brew club within a brew club.
How
So it's like a secret club. Well, he said he started his own club.
No, he didn't start it. He joined that local club up in Fairbanks.
Yeah. He took it a step deeper.
Fight Club.
I think that club was
beer
around
club.
longer than the Brew Club.
That's fine.
Okay.
But he
I
took
agree
it a
with you.
step deeper.
No,
that
I'm not
he's
going to ask
He's a
what you're talking-
multi-clubber.
He's a multi-clubber.
Well,
Yeah,
he
multi-clubber.
actually took it a step deeper.
He's dipping in his
and
toes in both
Actually,
both
did a
pools.
really nice label.
Yeah.
yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a minor.
Look at it. It's a
picking
minor picking out a beer.
Yeah, he was mining
it's
for
rad.
beer.
I have a feeling that's yet another AI produced.
Probably. But
What is this
blue
AI
tape.
thing you guys are talking about?
Why the?
I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Awesomely idiotic.
Yes.
Awesomely ingenious.
Ingenious, yeah. So let's go a little bit over his recipe since this is Miner's Respite. He went 66%. Jesus, Tim.
What is with you two?
Growler. They're freaking air biscuits over there. 66% pale malt. He went Maris Otter. You guys are
Maris Otter.
Yeah, what you're tasting is
Hardly know
the
her.
changes that he made. The things that he did differently than other people. So Maris Otter is a pale two-row. It's just an English pale two-row that's known for having a little bit more flavor.
Is 6-row more expensive than 2-row?
I believe it's less expensive, actually.
interesting.
Yeah. 24% flaked yellow corn, 5%, and this is one of my favorite specialty grains, honey malt.
Ooh.
I don't think it tastes like
I
honey.
love me some honeycombs.
Yeah, but what I think it tastes like is, remember Nut and Honey cereal?
Yeah.
Remember, I loved that cereal. And it was kind of a blend of like, I can taste, just thinking about it, I can taste it. It kind of like a weird, it didn't taste like honey, right? It just had this kind of, that's what I get from Honey Malt. He used chocolate rye, so he didn't go with the recommended dark grains, the Brew Club recommended, but he went with chocolate rye, which I love rye malt. That's what gives it that body. And then he did 2% Crystal 40. Everyone seems to be using
Crystal
Crystal
40.
40. Yeah.
40.
40. And he did one hop addition at 60 minutes. So just for bittering to 16 IBU with cluster, the recommended. Holy moly.
good.
He fermented this one with the AvgBrü Nova Lager. So
Lao!
I do not get, I will admit when I am wrong, I do not get the weird flavor that I usually get from Nova Lager. I don't get that at all in this beer. This is one of my favorites of the day so far. This is crazy good.
Easily one of my
tastes
favorites.
like the Alaskan Amber.
A little bit. I feel like Alaskan Amber is a little bit more viscous and sweet.
So basically, you're an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
So,
Wow.
Offer
guys.
no opinions from here
So
on
no.
out.
So let me rewind.
So no?
Let me rewind
that's
about a
elder
year ago.
abuse.
Hey guys, I'm going to start this thing called Average Brew Reviews. I know you don't know a ton about beer like I do because I'm the grand wizard of it all. But I want your guys' opinions. I want you to feel free to share.
Yeah.
Hey, Marshall, I think this beer tastes like this. Oh, that's awesome. You're a fucking idiot. Oh, this tastes like a biscuit. Yeah, if you don't have a tongue.
Yeah.
God
What
dang
kind of
it.
biscuits did you eat as a
Oh,
kid?
yeah, we're having Kentucky Common, also known as a creamy ale. No, it's different. Totally different. God dang it.
I knew it was going to come back to that. It's not. If you had a cream ale next to this, you'd be like, these are not the same beer.
I don't care. I'm regurgitating what the interweb said.
You
Similar to a cream ale.
similar, but not a.
Hey,
was
Marshall,
AI.
this looks like similar to a cream ale. Oh, yeah, if you're a friggin' idiot, it's similar. Sure.
That is not
Sorry,
what you
Tim. You know what
said.
I get? What do you get from this?
I don't get anything.
Neither do I. Next. God dang it. It's a great beer, too. We got off topic again. He knows what he's doing in Alaska.
I have a feeling,
He's
yeah.
similar like a friend.
Yeah. Boy, with friends like this, who needs enemies?
Right.
Andre, you killed it with this
Killed
beer.
it, dude.
It's so freaking good, dude. What I love to see
Or
is
is
that.
it?
So
Or is it? I don't
first
know.
off,
Marshall
first off-
approves, so it must be good.
We're just here for entertainment.
you guys are here to make it so.
Here
it's
for
not
a good
weird.
time, not for a long time.
I can't wait to get the hell out of here. What I love to see, two things I love to see. First off, everybody so far, I believe, is who's included their recipe is using Brewfather. Kudos, they're a big sponsor of ours, and we love Brewfather.
Yes, Brewfather, bring it.
Yeah, and then also, everybody's doing water quality adjustments, water chemistry adjustments, which cut to 10 years ago. And that was just not the case. There was this whole kind of mantra of if your house water tastes good, it's good enough to brew with. And what we've come to find is
False.
I mean, it's not that. Yeah, you're right. It's false.
Thank you.
Yeah.
God, see?
I brew my
Started
coffee
again.
with the house water.
So do I.
I've had coffee at your house. It's delightful, Craig.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got good house.
I love
water.
our tea parties.
But
I have Brita.
by adjusting the mineral levels, the different levels of sulfate, chloride, stuff like that, you really can amplify certain characteristics of beer. And so with something like a Kentucky Common, I mean, I'm going, with what it's just so interesting what he went with. So he went higher gypsum, which is calcium sulfate. That's going to crisp it up a little bit. It's going to give you a bite. Whereas calcium chloride kind of rounds those corners off and creates what I refer to as kind of a warm, perception, and nothing in particular, but people will say it gives it more of a malt character, emphasizes the malt. Whatever Andre did here, I absolutely love it. This
I think
beer
it's
is
a
so
blend
good.
of both.
It is. He used both. I don't know if he started with RO water or I'm looking for it, but he went with like
Someone's
an
paying
English-
attention.
Oh, here you go. Oh no, he went with a balanced. So he's 84 ppm chloride, 89 ppm sulfate. So
Yeah,
Oh, that
60-40.
makes sense. Yeah. That's almost 50-50.
Almost.
almost. It's like 49-51. Kind of, sort of, but yeah, great job, Andre. It would be really cool if we had another beer port. I've been trying to make.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've been busy, being
Justin's
ridiculed
got-
wow, this has a great beer flavor. No, it doesn't. This is the Wine-losophy show.
Justin's got his feet kicked up on the table, just kicking back and in the chair. Yeah.
Meanwhile, my glass is empty.
Oh, where's Craig going?
Craig, what the hell?
You gotta go pee pee. You gotta go pee pee again. It's okay.
I bet you're gonna go sit
Come
to pee.
on.
Go to that one over there. Okay, I like this. Nice, short, sweet note. And no recipe. Oh, he included some stuff in here, though. Oh, yeah, thanks, man. So this one comes from Trevor. Was there a last name, or he just wants Trevor?
Trevor T,
Trevor
like the
T.
1990s music artist Timmy T.
From Fresno.
One more try,
Let me put my
arms around you, living on these lonely nights without you. Come on, Timmy, why don't you give
So that just happened.
one more try?
And then he key changes. One more try. You didn't listen to Timmy T, Timmy?
No.
No, Tim was working a full-time job in the 90s.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, God, he was in his 40s back then.
Actually was.
Yeah, yeah.
Maxing out his 401k.
Dude, Timmy T was the...
Every now and again, I'm real funny.
This wasn't one of those times.
Timmy's offended. He just doesn't like another Timmy being in the Fresno area.
There's only one Timmy in my eyes.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a pretty one. That's my... Yeah. Yeah. Gracias.
Ooh, look, we got some yellow tape.
Yeah,
People are stepping up their game.
Is that duct tape? That's duct tape. Yellow duct tape.
No.
Everyone's gonna... I'm not gonna cut out just...
No, that's
you know,
masking tape.
Is it?
That's masking tape, yeah.
What's it
Oh, no, that's
masking?
duct tape, dude.
Yeah, look at the fibers in it.
Yeah, that'd be duct tape.
Come on.
Craig, you tripping, dog.
Yeah,
Craig.
the way you poured yours, you have absolutely zero. This you do too. You have no foam on yours.
None.
I have no foam on mine.
So
all
does-
of them have
so
no
does-
foam.
So this is a real Kentucky common then.
I guess so. Let's
Might
read
be
what
a-
Trevor
Allegedly.
T
Might
has
be
to say.
creamy.
Might be creamy.
Smells good.
Oh, is it a
Is it
creamy?
creamy?
one? Oh, it's Trevor Tyner. He put his name in on this one,
Trevor.
yeah.
Oh, still, what the hell?
Hold on.
All right.
Let me read his thing. He says, "Hey guys, this is the second time I've sent beer to you. I'm Trevor Tyner or Inlander Brewing. I like that.
Wait.
Doggy.
That's nice. I can feel the tension in the air. It's rolling up to my plums.
Trevor says that he failed to mention Inlander Brewing last time. So I've been brewing
where's
since...
where's he from?
I don't know where he's
I
from.
want to know where Inlander Brewing is.
Maybe inland?
It has to be inland of something.
Inlander.
Or-
Yeah. It's more inland than the other inland.
Than the
It's more inlander. You know what I mean?
That. Well, hold on. That checks out.
All right.
Yeah.
So, inland, so I failed to mention that. I've been brewing since 2018 and went off the deep end. Became
What?
a certified BJCP
Oh,
brother.
big pimpin'.
I'm
Big
right
baller
there with
in the
ya,
house.
Trevor T.
Wee.
Trevor T. This beer is my, quote, siblings with benefits. What?
What the hell?
Oh, no.
That is straight Kentucky.
That is straight. I
Family
don't-
tree with no
Family
branches.
tree with no branches.
He went right to the top.
Man. Siblings with benefits.
That's
I'm
it.
afraid to
This
drink
dude's
it.
a friggin' freak, and I
Yeah,
like
you're
it.
a freak, Trevor T. We
I
love
like it.
My siblings with benefits, Kentucky Common. I brewed it with 4 pounds of popcorn in the mash.
Dude.
Oh, maybe if it was buttered popcorn, that would explain why there's no head.
Head.
We'll have to see about that. It fermented with Nova Lager. So this is like the 4th one we've had with Nova Lager. which
Nova's coming in strong.
It's coming in strong.
Whoa,
75
whoa, whoa,
degrees
whoa.
Fahrenheit.
Hold on. This can't be right. So if you Google Inlander Brewing, their story, they've been around since the 1800s and they're based in San Francisco.
I don't think they would
no.
be
That
sending
can't be
us
them.
beer.
I think we're ruining Trevor's home brewery name right now by... You know what? He should send a
not
cease and
copyrighted.
desist to them. Trevor, send a cease and
See,
desist.
yeah, they're on Terry Francois Street.
Duh. Yeah. He says it came down to 10-12, putting it at 4% ABV. The malt bill is Hana. I've never heard of any of these.
Mohana.
Hana Carabelge, Caramel 40, and Chocolate Rye. The hops are mostly clustered with a pinch of sods. Salud. All right, let's hit it. Let's hit it.
It tastes so different than any. There's no carbonation to it. It's crazy flat.
It's
Mine's
not,
got carbonation.
What?
Mine's carbonated.
very little.
It's less than the other ones, yeah.
It almost tastes flat.
Yes, right?
So mine is more carbonated, I think, than yours. Did we open both bottles?
Yeah.
First taste.
They're the same. It's just slightly more
Oh,
carbonated.
so I'm wrong.
Quit
Got
kissing.
it. Noted.
No. It's low carbon. I'm not saying
Yeah,
you're
comparing
wrong,
to what the
Justin.
other ones that we've had,
way less.
It's been way less
Yeah.
carbonated.
But I still get some bubbles on the tongue.
Yes, there's some bubbles.
Yeah.
Popcorn bubbles.
Thank you for improving my statements.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Deep down, I appreciate constructive criticism. When you give it to me, I'll let you know.
I think you mean moderate down.
Oh, that's it.
Do you guys have you guys started watching the Conan O'Brien? What do they call it? No, that's funny.
That's funny.
Freaking funny.
One of the funniest things I've ever seen on Conan.
You mean a 40?
Oh, you mean a 40? It's a 40. That's Ice Cube and
Kevin Hart.
Yeah, when they're driving around.
So good, yeah. With the Lyft driver. Well, no. So Conan just came out with I don't know how new it is, but it's a new-ish series where he goes around to different countries and does it, and it's really hilarious. I don't know why I started telling you guys about that. There was a reason, but I forget. But
I'm going to get so much ridicule for this statement.
say it.
Drinking this, it just tastes like a flat red beer.
Actually, don't disagree with you. I think you're 100% right, and I would never question that opinion.
Wow.
Perfect.
I'm going to go buy a lottery ticket.
It's a perfect opinion.
Yeah, you better.
Yeah.
Damn. My daddy approved.
Yes,
so
I did.
my real opinion, though, is that it tastes like a little, kind of like a flat red ale.
Yeah.
It's good. You guys should try it.
It's
I
good.
know you're not
It's-
as extreme
I'm-
as
I like
you're
it.
in the palate.
I'm not a fan. It's good, but it's not enough carbonation, not enough head on it for me.
So the thing is with shipping, when you've done the home brewing thing long enough, and you've received beers and you've sent beers, you've not only gotten feedback that it was undercarbonated because
It leaks out, I'm assuming?
but it's not just from the shipping, it's from the packaging process. Most people, if you know that you're gonna package a beer from your keg in a bottle, overcarbonate it by a little bit. That way, the carbonation that comes out while you're pouring it into the bottle is basically replaced by overcarbonation, right? So you can cap it. And I don't know if that's what these other brewers did, but Trevor, your beer was slightly undercarbed. I mean, it's not flat though. I get a little prickle on the tongue.
There's prickle. It's just comparatively
Yeah,
speaking.
it's almost more. It's carbonated, kind of like an English ale, like you'd expect from like a
pub.
a pub ale. Yeah, something like
Okay, question. So one of the gal and I stopped at a brewery last weekend on our anniversary, had lunch, had a couple drinks. But when I got beers to go, they did them right off the tap and canned them right in front of us, which is actually really cool. They did the whole
They
thing.
spin it around.
Yeah,
Are you
it's
talking about Dust Bowl?
Yeah, it was
yes,
really cool.
it's badass how they do that.
Those are
cool to
called.
watch.
It's called a crowler.
Okay, so
Yeah.
but you're not over carbonating that.
The thing is that if you were to compare, I mean, you have to be really kind of in tune to it, right? But if you were to compare a fresh pour of that and then pour off your crowler and compare that next to it,
There'd be a
different.
discernible
Yeah.
difference.
I don't know if it'd be discernible. The way that they do it might be different, but arguably the fresh pour is going to have a little bit more carbonation because it's going right into the glass, whereas you're doing two pours effectively, right? You're going into the crowler and then
Right.
crowler into the glass and less gas. The thing is with homebrewers, there's a part of carbonating that is a little bit, it's like, okay, there's some science to it, but it's also feel, right? Like when I carbonate anything, whether it's beer, cider, and I do all of them differently, sparkling water like I have on tap outside right now, all of that, I'm
Wait,
doing
you
it.
have sparkling water on tap?
Yeah, brother.
God, he's bougie.
It's literally just water from my hose, so it's not that bougie. But I go based on the way it feels in my mouth, and then I'll turn it down to serving pressure. Yeah, you know that, right, Timmy? So it again, I would,
I would drink this.
Bet money that it poured off his tap. It's more sparkly than it is in our glasses, because
His
going
beer
into a
I'd have
bottle
like
and-
with fish and chips.
it tastes more English. That's what I get. And it's funny.
yeah, you're
you
right.
guys both said red ale, or maybe you were joking, but that is actually what I get. It's
No,
like-
and that's what
Yeah.
I put it to was a commercial example of a red ale
Yeah.
that maybe is. It's not going to sound right, but it's been sitting out a little bit longer than maybe it should have, so you lose some of that bubble.
Yeah, if you go to England and you go to a classic English pub or Irish pub or something, and they're pouring you a red ale,
A frosty pint.
a frosty pint,
Frosty pint.
it's not going to be highly carbonated. They're known for I mean, to put this in dumb terms, they go less than American beers, and
Yeah.
we're used to American beers, which are sparkly, almost like soda. It's
We
not
ain't
quite
no
soda.
pansies.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. So, anyways, we do have one beer
Yes,
or
we
two
do.
beers left. One beer left. Oh, it better
9
be the
left.
best.
Ooh,
One?
this is getting good. Consensual cousins.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Seems we're not the only ones with
Wow.
I love the sophomore
label.
humor.
No.
Hey, Marshall et al. Who's this owl guy?
No, you know what that means.
know what it
Okay,
means.
buddy.
Lone Tooth Brewing.
Yes.
That
Brewery.
label.
Kissing cousins.
I'm going to go ahead and just call it best label of the day.
Best
Oh
label.
my!
It's not even
Hey,
close.
hey, hang on. As I dig deeper into this label, they have hearts in their eyes. The man's wearing overalls, which is cool. He's got a knife on his hip. He's touching the lady's hand. She's got a dress with hearts on it, and then
It's
she's
his
got
sister.
a beard.
Oh my God, I didn't notice her beard.
That is
Oh my God, look at this. You bet your ass it's good.
honey, or
Oh, he's got a bronze at the 2024 Deja Brew.
Come here, sister, honey.
Oh, lock up your cousins.
come here, there, sister, brother.
What's awesome? Oh, thanks, dude. Yeah. What's awesome is that I already read. I just read through what he wrote.
Have you met my sister, brother? She's purty.
She got a pretty mouth.
There it is.
So his name's Peter. Peter with a D though, which is kind of cool. Peter.
Petered?
D.
Peder.
He's petered.
Pedro.
He petered out.
It's not Pedro. It's Peder or Peter.
It's petered. He's
Petered out.
petered.
Is that his sister's name or his name?
God, that label's so good. Look at it.
It is.
It is so
I love
funny.
it.
I wonder if it's AI or if now you never know. You know.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah. Oh, that's so
Oh,
pretty.
that's beautiful.
And look at that. Oh, we might be finishing on the best one here.
Oh my lord!
Finishing on a high note. Drinking
Well, that's got a good.
cousin
That's got a
beer.
good aroma.
Okay, I'm going to read what Peter. I'm going to call you Peter. Peter.
Petered.
Peter.
Pumpkin
Did he
eater.
put a D like he's like past tensing something?
No. It's
He
instead of
petered
a
out.
T.
Oh, it's Petter.
Peder.
Petter.
Peter. Hey, whatever.
Good thing his last name's not File.
He says, thanks for checking out my Peter file.
Pedophile.
Peter file. Thanks for checking out my beer. This is the first Kentucky Common I've ever brewed, and I hope you all enjoy it. I've never drank one prior to this. And living in Connecticut, I wasn't
Us
able to
either.
find I wasn't able to find a commercial example to compare it to. It did pretty well at Deja Brew in February,
good.
but has not seemed to overly impress anyone since.
You guys can
good.
relate to that.
Maybe it's not aging well, he says. Anyway, you guys let me know. The label I designed myself and a neighbor who owns a print shop printed them
So
up. for me.
friggin' dope.
It's the-
I want a T-shirt
It's the
of it.
most badass
That would be
label.
amazing.
That would be.
My apologies to the fine folks of Kentucky for the tired cliche. Don't worry, I think we've drilled that one in as well.
Yeah.
We love you, Kentucky.
We're not allowed in
Just
Kentucky.
not in that way. Hope the packaging is held up and you enjoy the beer. Now, he again, Brewfather recipe. God, I love that people are using Brewfather. He went 76% two-row pale malt. Let's see, 15% flaked maize. That doesn't say the percentage there. 4% crystal 40, and then the rest was chocolate rye. A lot of people use chocolate rye, which I think is rad. That's going to contribute a little bit of
I like it.
mouthfeel. Yeah, well, they call it chocolate because of the color, not
Yeah.
because of the flavor contribution. And then he did just cluster at 20 minutes for 21 IBU. So, and he again another Nova Lager user.
Yeah.
People are loving that Nova Lager. So let's get into this guy. It is our last one. Oh, I'm sad. I can drink these all
I tell you, this is
dude.
very
yeah,
good.
I don't know how Kentucky Common hasn't gotten a broader footing other than maybe
Well,
it's just
maybe-
it's terrible marketing.
We're in California.
No, there's a California Common. You guys know what that's called, right?
California
Steam beer.
Common?
Anchor Steam is a California Common.
Steam beer.
You can't. You. I don't know if you can use it now that Anchor's Brewing is no longer in business.
Yeah.
But you in the beer world, you couldn't call your beer commercially. We all call it steam beers.
I would think that Cleveland had the name Steam.
Cleveland. And it's a brown ale.
That's what the Cleveland Browns are. That's their mascot.
The Cleveland Steamers.
Cleveland team.
The old steamer. Hey, hey, man, Browns didn't look too bad last season, but
Oh, they
So
traded
do
away
the
all
Niners.
oh, this guy smells good.
This is very good.
This is good.
This is
I like
wow.
it.
Oh, Jethro's sister made a nice beer.
Boy, you get that.
That carbonation's back, and you really
is.
appreciate
It
it.
is back.
You
This is
really
really
appreciate
good.
it.
I like
yeah.
it.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm getting that chocolatey, bready,
It's
malty.
so good.
It is.
Yeah, this is tasty.
My goodness.
This is one of my
I'd marry
favorites.
my cousin if she made this.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah. What's your cousin's name? She might be listening.
Jethro.
Jethro. Is it happen? Does he play the flute?
No, but he's a brewer from California, specializes in steamers.
Okay. Yeah. Originally from Cleveland.
Originally from Cleveland.
Yeah. God, this is a great
This
one.
is so
It's very
freaking
good.
good.
Is that who Joe's named after? Jethro?
Yes.
Jethro Joe?
Jethro Joe.
Jethro Joe.
I don't know where to go from here. Sorry, you're looking at me.
Ding 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 ding. This is really good. What do you guys want to describe the aroma?
I mean,
and
just
the flavor?
a deep brown
malty-
color
a
with
malty
some red
aroma.
hint to it. Yeah, very biscuity.
One of the more strongly. It's interesting. This one next to, I forget who brewed it, but it was my favorite one from the last segment. I don't know if I'd be able to tell them apart. They're that similar in terms
This
of.
is such a-
Ransom Brewing. The Ransom Note label, that was similar to
Yeah,
this
Steve.
one.
That was
yeah,
Steve.
Steve's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has such a strong, bready, sweet flavor finish.
so
Yeah.
good.
That's good.
But it doesn't feel sweet in your mouth. It's not like you have those beers sometimes where you drink it and you're like, oh, I feel like it just
Sugary,
ate,
and,
sugary,
funky.
yeah.
No, this is like a sweet, like a deep sweet.
So I've really gotten into sourdough brewing, and don't worry, fella, don't worry, folks. Boulosophy.com is coming. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Yeah.
Boulogernais.
Because a boule is different than a batard. Don't laugh.
I'm sorry. Are you making batards?
Yeah, that's actually I prefer batards over boules,
You
but
can't say that.
yeah, no, I know
That's
it
not-
sounds bad, but it's
That's a hard R.
but it,
So that's what Le Boulogernais Bakery? Or,
that's
like,
boulangerie.
Yeah, Boulangerie.
That it's all French. I don't
Yeah.
know what that stands for,
But by way of China.
but yeah, exactly.
You know what was weird? Before you said that, I was thinking this would go good with a piece of sourdough bread.
Well, so here I'm going to cut some up for us later because I have
Now?
a couple fresh
Oh.
ones. Yeah, well, this is our last beer, so after this. But one of the things that Laura said, my wife, on the latest batch that I made, which has 10% rye in it, rye flour. I bought 55 pounds of rye flour because
Seriously?
I couldn't find a 5-pound bag anywhere, dude.
Just go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I got 55 pounds. Whatever. I'm going to make a bunch of rye bread. She's
I
laughing.
bet I know what everybody's getting for Christmas.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. The dense ass
some rye bread.
dense ass fucking Latvian rye bread is what you're gonna
Guys,
get.
I made you a doorstop for Christmas.
Jeez, I can't wait to open my birthday present next week.
Wait till you guys try this rye, the 10% rye that I made. It's the softest bread that I've made so
I'll
far.
be the judge of that.
But yeah, I will. Or yes, you will. But I gave Laura and I made it 2 nights ago. So I cut up pieces. Said, hey, what do you think? No butter, nothing. So what do you think about this one? And she's eating it. And she's like, it's weird. It tastes like all the other ones, but like there's this weird bready sweetness to it that and I don't know if that's from the rye. I don't know if that's something else, but it's the same exact recipe with 10% of the regular flour I use replaced with rye. And this has that. It's that same where it's like perceptibly sweet, but it doesn't feel sweet. You know?
No.
I don't like
Yeah.
rye bread.
Oh,
so.
I love rye bread so much.
I don't know that I've ever.
You've had it. Most people don't like rye bread.
Is that the one with like the spirals where it's like the dark? No, that would.
No, it's that. I believe that is a blend. That's a blend of rye and
That's
white
nasty.
bread.
That's what a patty
Yeah.
melts on.
I love it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that.
They'll make a
Oh.
lot of corned beef.
Yeah. Patty melt, like corned beef on it, or
But patty melt with sourdough is
yeah.
weakness.
Well, I can't wait for you guys to try. Oh, you've already had my bread,
I had your bread.
but
It
you
was
two
good.
haven't yet. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
Timmy didn't.
Back to beer, which is liquid bread.
Oh, here we are.
Like that segue.
This
that
is
was
health.
the harshest segue. This has a lot of that same flavor profile that I'm talking about. And I
Yeah,
absolutely
this is
love
good.
it. It's so good.
Really good.
Is it my favorite? I don't know. Peter, I think you did one of the.
So label
We didn't have a
wise,
single
he
bad one.
wins. He wins the label for me.
They were
hand
all
down.
good.
Yeah, label winner.
And
Oh, without a doubt.
I think I'm going to lean more towards, and maybe it's only because that was my first Kentucky Common, is our first one.
The very first
George one from Georgia.
Yeah.
Really good.
That was good.
So-
Fox Hollow.
These, I tell you what, this
Fox
is what's
Hollow,
been
that's right,
fun.
yeah.
Is every single one of these was good.
They all
There's not
were.
a single one of these that I wouldn't reorder another pint of.
No
Right,
question.
yeah.
They were all good.
When we went out to get the second round of beers, Tim and I were in the garage. He was helping me load up the ice chest. And I was like, man, and this is like a legit side convo. We're not just saying this on the show. How in the world is this not a far more popular
Right?
style.
Yeah.
And
It's marketing.
here's the thing. I know at least 16 people listen to this show on a weekly basis.
Has to be 16.
Maybe 17.
4 of us are right here.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Like
I never
you
listen
guys,
to that.
like
I
you
never
guys
listen to
listen to
this
the show. Yeah.
I do.
Yeah,
I
I
know
know
you
Craig
do.
does because Craig will text me. He's like, "Oh, I was listening to this one." Yeah. But here's the thing.
I want a raise.
What I hope is that those 16 people, sans the 3 of you and me, of course,
That's 4.
start brewing more Kentucky Common. This style is legit.
It's a shame
It's very
that,
good.
that there's
Really,
not
really
no,
good.
I think you just need to change the marketing of it to like just common beer. Even then, like it's a terrible
Idaho
name.
Common. It's
But
closer
just-
to us.
U.S. Ale.
Idaho Common.
Yeah. U.S. Ale.
It smells like gun smoke.
Yeah. Smells like liberty.
You the hoe.
So it's funny you say that, Justin, because I have a feeling part of the issue is that there's really not much difference. So there's a lot. I mentioned this early on in the first segment. There's really most styles have some overlap with another style, right?
Yeah.
It's basically the same ingredients. It's basically the same approach. What makes a Kentucky Common unique? There's 2 things: warm fermentation with a lager yeast strain, but they use ale yeast for it. So okay, let's take that out. The other thing is the use of corn. American macro lager brewers use corn. So I look at Yingling and I'm like, hey, all of these. If you served me this and you said, "Hey, I poured a Yingling in a glass for you," I wouldn't have questioned you. And I love Yingling.
Don't know any better.
So I think the problem is that it's like, well, we already make this. We just call it something different. We don't call it a Kentucky Common.
Yeah, I have to almost think that there's no chance this tasted good pre-prohibition when this was popular.
Like infections and stuff, or
Yeah, I mean, like the funkiness of the sanitary conditions and the things like that you had in that predominantly low income area,
right? Yeah,
when people were struggling financially. So you have this scenario where it probably fell out of favor because I bet it sucked to a degree back then because it was relatively poor people brewing whatever they can get their hands on
in their backyard,
and in between getting married to your cousin.
Right,
So that's a problem. That's a time-consuming process.
It is.
So I think that I think you hit the nail on the head that this is already being done. It's just a different name.
Because it's really. I mean, I have to. I've never looked. I've never like Googled what's the recipe for Yingling. I would bet that they're using some sort of either rice or corn adjunct.
Yeah.
Because it lightens up it's what makes Miller Lite so good is that it's crisp, crushable. It doesn't have, it's not thick. And part of that is because they're using, I believe Miller Lite uses corn solids, but like Bud Light is rice. I think Coors uses rice. Because it ferments out, you get that booze, but you get nothing else really. You don't get any flavor. You don't get any body contribution, nothing like that. So you take something like the fact that we're sitting here kind of meandering down this pathway of Kentucky Common, I think really speaks to how much we loved all of these beers.
Absolutely.
It's such a good style, but I really do wonder I don't think they're going to sell as much if they call it Kentucky Common. Just call it an amber ale. That's what I'm trying to say. Is I guarantee there are breweries out there that call this an amber ale. Not an American amber ale, which is hoppy and all that. I'm talking like your classic old school pub ale or amber ale or whatever. Because this is so good.
Yeah, but I think if you called it that, it would just blend in with everything else. Where this is more, I don't know. I feel it's more defined. It's got more flavor, more.
But this doesn't
body,
taste
more-
like something new to me.
Yeah. That's where I'm with
it's
you,
familiar.
Justin. Yeah.
It's familiar, but don't throw it in a name that's already
Being used.
Drowned
That
Yeah.
people
out.
associate with
Right.
something else. Yeah, I hear you.
Like when I had sours for the first time, that was on such a different spectrum.
Kind of fucks with your head a little bit.
Right?
Yeah.
This is just kind of like, oh, I've had a bunch of these.
Yeah.
It's just good.
and
and
it's-
I've always liked the red ale, and that's what I'm associating this with as a red ale.
And here's the thing is that's what I wonder, right? So red ales look exactly like this. They taste exactly like this. They don't have corn in them. So a red ale, when you drink a nice red ale, it might be a whole point lower in alcohol. Because if you were to add 4 pounds or whatever of flaked maize, it might
It's
boost
gonna
that
shoot
up
up.
without changing much of the character. Who was making these beers when they first started? It was all the people who were coming over from Europe,
Yeah.
Germany, Ireland, England.
Heavy drinkers.
Heavy drink. Well, people who are familiar with beer, they expected to have a pub, a pub ale after work.
It's a part of their lifestyle.
It's a part of their lifestyle, but they're using what they had available to them, which was 6-row malt as opposed to 2-row or Maris Otter or whatever it might have been. Corn, because that was everywhere in the U.S. back then, and whatever yeast they could find, which happened to be ale yeast. And then it makes sense to me. But I don't think I'm with you. I don't think marketing Kentucky Common is going to be very helpful. It's like drink.
Got a
this.
nice ring to it.
Yeah, Casey. I hate that team so much. There's a lot of football references.
I wasn't even thinking of that.
Casey Ale.
No.
I just don't think it works.
I would drink it.
But I think it'd be rad if the 15 or 16 people listening to this show were like, you know what? They seem to like this beer a lot.
Let's start a revolution.
Let's start the
beer.
Kentucky Let's make it not a historical style in the BJCP. Let's give it its own number.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Whoa. Yes, let's do that.
Tim is literally dying
falling
on us.
asleep?
What was
Yeah.
the other one we drank? And I had West Coast Pilsner.
Oh, those
when
are
we did
good.
the West Coast
those are good.
Pilsners, that's not a common thing, but it tasted like
Something new.
similar to this. It
Yeah.
was new, but it had a
It was new but familiar.
right.
Yeah. Because it had almost a pale ale or IPA flavor, but there were distinctions
Right.
in it. But you're not saying that West Coast Pilsner tastes like Kentucky Common.
No, I'm just saying that. I'm
Get
just
that
saying
out
the
there,
name
very different.
reference.
Yeah. It's new, and I love the fact that the Brew Club is doing, styles that are historical and novel and different, and not just hazy IPA and American IPA and brown IPA and red
Let's slow it down.
IPA and
No.
yeah. So
Pump the brakes.
what if you could request? I already know what they're doing for, I believe, the next quarter and then 4 quarters after that. Very weird. I'm not going to tell you.
That's
So
a year.
the
But
next
if you,
quarter,
I want
2
to
years from now.
before we wrap this up, because we're done. We've
Yeah.
drank all the beers. We're going to go drink all the other extras that people sent after this. But if you could request a style that we haven't done yet, first off, this is my favorite one so far. I like this
This has been pretty good.
without a doubt. It's
yeah.
been my favorite one. It's way better than New Zealand Pilsner. I'm just going to put it that way because those were all oxidized. But if you could request a single style for the Brew Club to do, because they're all listening to this, what would you request? I already know what you want.
You know what mine is.
Yeah, hazy IPA for Craig. What do you want, Timmy?
I'll go with that as well.
You want hazy
Let's
IPA
do
as
it.
well? You want to see? You know,
I've
what?
opened
And-
his eyes a little bit
Well,
on a few different ones.
but you've known him
yeah,
60 years longer than me, something like that, at least.
61.
But one thing that's very true about Tim is once he kind of gets interested in something, he wants to figure more out about it, right? And I could see him trying to figure out, like, is there a way that somebody can make a hazy IPA that he wants to drink over and over again, the way we
Right.
do Miller Lite, right?
Yeah.
I think
that'll
he's getting
be a
there.
tough hill for me to climb.
Me too. I'm with
Me
you.
too.
I've not had one. I've yet to find a hazy IPA where I'm like, I could just drink this. I've had great hazy IPA. Don't get me wrong. I just want a small little glass like this, and I want to move on to something.
We had a
else.
few in
Yeah, we had a few in Sedona, and he
They
was
were
like,
very good.
Dang, this is really good.
But I don't know, Lloyd. The French are assholes.
Exactly. What style would you pick, Justin?
Don't put me on that. Sours.
Oh, they haven't done sour
I
like a
would-
kettle,
oh,
like a
I would
kettle
do
sour.
that.
You would love that.
I would like that better. More.
Craig, you're on a hazy island all by yourself.
Well, you'll be there with me.
Yeah, I will.
Here, mine's going to be a weird one. I want American brown ale, and here's why. It's not popular anymore.
Because of American brown trout.
It's
Because Americans aren't popular.
Got him.
also because of that, but it's not very popular anymore. But Krone Wolf has one. They're Sonder.
Oh God,
You see what
that's
I'm
my
saying?
favorite beer there.
Janet's Brown Ale, which is an old Tasty McDole.
Did you just make that up?
No. Mike Tasty McDole, rest his soul, wonderul dude. He died.
Are
of
you
cancer
rhyming on
recently.
purpose?
Oh my God, I didn't mean
Oh,
to.
Timmy O'Toole from Jimmy O'Toole. Oh, R.I.P. to whoever I just
Anybody
interrupted.
want a peanut? No, he was such a good dude. He ended up unfortunately dying a couple years ago, but he created this recipe called Janet's Brown Ale, which was for his wife who had died, and
Is her name?
Damn.
Is her name Cicely?
Janet, yeah. And they brewed it. The first time I ever had it was actually at Russian River in 2012 or 13, maybe. Phenomenal. So the thing about American brown ale is it has more hops in it because everything American is going to have more hops, basically.
Because we do everything better.
It's phenomenal.
And I was just there last weekend.
Russian River, I know, Santa Rosa. It's phenomenal. I don't know if they have it on all the time now, but they definitely have it is at points throughout the year. I want you guys to do American Brown Ale. So we've
That
got
would be
hazy
good.
IPA,
Sours.
let's go kettle sours so they don't have to wait
Yes.
5 years for them. Kettle sours from Justin and Tim, and then I'm saying American Brown Ale. Now you know, because
I
they ask all
love
the time.
Saunders.
Okay,
So
yeah.
my go-to is I'll have 2 Saunders, and then I'll try something new that I haven't had before.
God, I love Saunders so much. I had
So
one last
good.
night too. I know. God, it's so good. Well, that is all the time we've got. That brings us to the end of our 9th average brew. I know 9 doesn't sound like much, but that's per quarter, which means we've been doing this for almost
15 years.
Over 2 years.
That math adds up, right?
We lost our
Yes.
hair.
Oh, thank you guys so much for joining me again to do these reviews. I don't even need to ask, but what'd you think about Kentucky Common?
Oh, loved it, man.
It's
that
a
was,
shame
that was
that
amazing.
it's not
that was
more
pretty
popular.
Good. I was pleasantly surprised.
Like I said, this has been my favorite so far of the 9 that we've done. I want to drink so much more Kentucky Common. I've had a few already.
Easy there.
Thank you so much to everybody who submitted their beers. I know it's not easy to package them, put them in bottles, put them in boxes, send them out to California. What a pain in the butt. And just Kentucky Common. It's such a great style. Don't forget to subscribe to the Brew Lab, where host Kate Job takes you into the lab with brewing professionals to discuss the important and fascinating work they've done on our favorite beverage, and make sure to stay hip to everything we're up to at brewlosophy.com. The Brewlosophy podcast is made possible by the generous support of our sponsors, as well as all of our rad listeners. We seriously could not do this without you. Cheers to everyone who has subscribed and left a review of our show. It makes a huge difference. If you haven't yet, please consider doing so. Head over to brewlosophy.com/support to view a list of ways you can easily help us to continue producing this podcast. If you want a reward for your support, visit patreon.com/brewlosophy. Thanks again for listening. We'll be back next week with another episode of the Brewlosophy podcast. Until then, think beer.
Start off the morning with some hot tea, lemon and honey, cause it suits my bro. Put some herb in the bowl, yeah, it's homegrown. Ain't gotta go through the middleman no more. Life is good, the likelihood of me.
The drive to go further and reach higher. The same thing that inspires you inspires us. At Strayer University, we're always searching for new ways to make education more affordable. That's why we offer access to up to 10 no-cost gen ed courses to help you save time and money so you can keep striving. Visit strayer.edu to learn more. No-cost gen eds provided by Strayer University affiliates Sophia Learning. Eligibility rules apply. Connect with us for details. Strayer University is certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.